Howdy, everyone. Welcome to the Peanut Gallery. Good evening. I am JadexFang, and I am here with a brand new cast of fun guests here today. Will you introduce yourself, brand new fun cast? Starting with our Robin cosplayer.
What's up? I'm Snoot again. I make a comic called Hex Girl on Global Comics. Hex Dash Girl. It's a bunch of genres. It's like comedy and mystery and fantasy and stuff, and it follows a superhero detective with a bunch of magical curses and a bunch of freaky villains. So that's what I'm up to. At Snoot again on Global Comics. That's
Great.
right.
Let's go with our little sleep paralysis demon.
So I am Sleep Aid, your local sleep paralysis demon. I've been reviewing dozens of the Webtoon Legends contest entries on my YouTube channel under the same name, and I also enter the contest with my own comic called Dumpster Girl. You can follow me on YouTube for reviews and on Webtoon for my comic. Also, I just wanted to say very quickly that your drawing of me looks very similar to the one that I was going to send you, so good job on that.
Task fails successfully. All right, and one more person. What are you doing?
Hi, I'm Lulu. Oh,
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm Lulu. I'm Lily Pop. I make comics on Webtoon. I'm the author of the comic called Our Unextraordinary Lives, and also I enter the Webtoon contest with the entry The Little Red Huntress. And you can pretty much find me almost anywhere with the username lulipop_arts. So Instagram, YouTube, Webtoon.
You got all
Yeah.
your usernames on lock.
Yeah,
Wish I was you.
just got all of the same one. I got really lucky.
Yeah. Lulipop too. I thought
got
that would be
banned
like
off
more
TikTok for
common.
Lulipop itself
I
was hard, but with the underscore arts, I was able to get it.
Oh, there we go. That's the
Yeah.
tricks right there.
I was gonna say my just the normal at Snoonigan off TikTok was banned because they really hate the word dumb, apparently.
That's lame.
Like I said too many things were dumb, and they banned me like within February. Like I got 6 strikes within the same month saying
Damn.
that.
It's really dumb right
I got
there.
instantly banned for saying it the 7th
Yeah.
time. Yeah. So now it's Snoonigan draws, but yeah. So
That's funny though. You can't
That's
tell
so
you
funny.
can't tell the youth that they're dumb. It'll hurt their fifis. Anyway,
Should use different words.
yeah, you should use words like
yeah, people are always trying to work around
unintelligent, unintelligent.
Gotta
they
pull
say
out
my
the
ranked
thesaurus.
teammates.
You gotta pull out the dictionary and use creative language.
Really?
They talk about survival instincts a lot. Like they say like I think it started with like Minecraft videos of like people doing really well against like stuff, and they say like, you know, survival instincts of a Navy SEAL, or people like, you know, trying to like jump on falling sand and saying like, you know, oh, survival instincts of a baby panda, like that sort of thing.
I still find the best way to diss someone is tell them that wisdom has always been chasing you, but you've been faster.
Yeah.
I love that one.
All right, everyone. So the webtoon contest continues, but the short list has not been decided yet. So because of this, we're all in the other edge of our seats. Who's gonna win, who's gonna lose, who's gonna make the list, and who's going to be sent back home in disgrace to their family.
That's pretty nerve-wracking.
No pressure. So what we're going to do here today is look at some fun comics, some of the contests, some not. And give the creator our 2 cents on the matter. So Snoonigan, let's start with you. Which comic did you choose?
I forget what it's called exactly. It's the T-Rex one.
It's the
T-Rex is looking for a
T-Rex
job, I think
one.
it's called.
T-Rex.
It's something like T-Rex is searching for a job. It's on your list, so I don't know if you can like pull that up or something, but
I can
I forget
pull
the
it
exact
up,
name,
but
it's
I
something
also
like
don't.
that.
Since the list is pretty big,
I think
I
I
also
am.
don't know the list by heart, but I do
T-Rex is
remember
looking
that
for
it
a
was a
job.
comedy
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
T-Rex is
link,
looking for a
or-
job. All right, while I pull it up here, can you tell me the reason behind why you chose that one?
Oh, okay, I see it.
I was looking for one that knew what it was. Is weirdly, it's kind of a weird one. Like, if I saw one that was like fantasy / supernatural, it's like I'm sure it can be interesting, but it's like those sound like the same things to me. And sometimes with like romance ones, I mean, I don't. The main thing is I kind of don't want to do a dramatic reading of a romance one, like I was talking about before. Like some like a lot of romance ones just feel like with the grain of like what you expect from webtoons, I guess. And this one seems like episodic and like a really interesting like original concept and stuff. And I like that the episodes are like a new job every time.
I
The thing
see.
like it has like a fun formula to it,
All
and
right,
a
I
fun
see.
style.
I get you. If Lollipop does
Yeah.
pick a romance one, I'm gonna let you be the male lead just to mess with you then.
Great. Fantastic.
That'd be really funny.
All right, so T-Rex is looking for a job. Snoodigan, as podcast rules, the one who smelt it dealt it. So because you chose the
Gotcha.
comic, you will read the synopsis, the the blurb, the word blurb.
The synopsis.
Excellent.
No, those are words. And also,
Word
you will
limited?
be the main character, the main T-Rex person. So take it away.
Great. A meteor strike teleports a T-Rex into the modern world where he must find a job to survive.
Also, he became smaller then because the T-Rex is pretty
Can I just
big.
say, I love
his
the
style.
thumbnail with his like tiny little hands holding his
Yeah.
little like briefcase.
Oh yeah, those are tiny hands right there.
Try to pick a voice for
And
him.
because I honestly, when I saw the thumbnail from far away, I thought that his hands was like in a pocket or something. It's like, no, those are just really tiny hands.
I didn't notice that carrying his little briefcase.
All right, so the adventure begins. I will be the narrator, and you will be the T-Rex.
Nope.
At the time, Tyrannosaurus Rex was hunting dinosaurs as usual. But who would have thought that a meteor would fall on that day?
Well, that's a good chomp.
That is a very good jump. Hitting the Earth, ruled by dinosaurs. Kaboom. Ah. The meteor explosion teleported dinosaurs into another world. And
This is not the
slowly,
isekai I was expecting.
yeah, the dinosaur got isekai'd, made their
The
bodies
dinosaur did get
transform,
isekai.
and even gave him like a mullet.
Aw. Hey, get out of the street!
Geez, another dinosaur again.
Whoa,
Oh,
is that a T-Rex? Wait, go ahead, Shibidi. Whoa, is that a T-Rex?
What's happening? I'm assuming that's his line.
Probably. Dinos. Dinosaur Immigration,
Was he
Naming
Geek?
Occupation Services.
That's a pretty good name.
Welcome.
Welcome to the human world, Mr. Tyrannosaurus Rex. My name is Steffi.
And Shibidi, since you didn't get one, be Gregory.
And
Yes,
I'm
with
Gregory. We are from Dinos, and we are going to help you adapt to this world.
Aw.
Oh, his little claw hands. So crabby.
The entry period of each dinosaur is different. Some entered the human world early, like me, and some are late, just like you.
You know, it's hard for dinosaurs to live in the human world suddenly, so we founded Dinos, Dinosaur Immigration Naming Occupation Services, to help.
Aw. So, our first
So-
task is to give you a name, Mr. Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Do you have a name in mind, sir?
Just, hungry? This is the first time a Tyrannosaurus Rex has arrived, so we don't have a suitable name reference yet.
Wait, what did you say, sir?
I'm hungry.
Hungary? Do you want that name, sir?
I was hunting because I want to eat, but why did it turn out like this? Huh?
Hungary, sir. Do you want that name?
Food. I want to eat.
Roar.
Roar.
Ah.
Arg.
Arrest him. Put him down.
Hit him down.
Whack.
Whack.
I still go with this one?
Yeah.
Lily Pop doesn't put
You
down a lot.
want?
You want this?
Do you want me to do it? Sure.
Sure.
I thought after entering human world, transformed and being able to talk, T-Rex could change its behavior. Turns out they don't.
Oh my god, my heart.
Mr. T-Rex, I hereby declare that your name is Tyrant. Is this still her?
I think it's
Oh, yeah. Mr. Tyrant, in this human world, it is forbidden to eat people and dinosaurs. Here you have to work, earn money, and then buy your own food.
That's right. You have to pay for your meal.
So, Mr. Tyrant.
Sorry.
Oh, okay. I don't
At the
know
same
what
time,
that
go.
is.
So, Mr. Tyrant,
So, Mr.
starting
Tyrant,
tomorrow,
starting
you have to
tomorrow,
start
you
looking
have
for
to
a
start
job.
looking for a job.
Work? Money? What are they talking about?
Okay, this is pretty funny.
Yeah.
You know, I do find that
Please like, rate, and subscribe.
I do. All right, I do enjoy that they got the whole introduction done in the one episode, so now we can get into the the trials and tribulations.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Very to the point.
So go ahead, Luli.
Oh, sure. Mr. Tyrant, you got a job as a waitress in a restaurant. Your tasks are to take customers' orders, enter orders to the kitchen staff, deliver food and drinks to customers' tables, clean the dining table, and most importantly, always be friendly and smile.
Cleaning the deity table is probably going to be hard with those hands.
Be happy and smile, Mr. Tyrant.
Okay.
T-Rex
quick.
looking for
That's
a
weird.
No, I really do like that logo. With like
Yeah.
I do too.
with like the little T-Rex coming out with the suitcase.
Yeah, I
Did the
think I
second
was.
chapter have enough panel? Oh no, it's still going.
Oh no, it keeps going. That was just the cold open. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I like
Okay.
I feel like it's like kind of a like a tight story already. Like I was saying, it definitely knows what it is the thing.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, do you want to eat?
But burger?
Would you like to order a cheeseburger or a burger with extra meat?
Drag. Let's see. About Shippity, you beat the boss man. You sound like a boss. You sound like a boss person.
Excuse me, what would you like to order? You, deliver this to table 4.
Okay.
Stomp, 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 stomp.
Stop. Here is your order, sir.
I knew it.
It's gonna drop.
Well, what should I do? My hands can't reach the table. I'm afraid it will fall. I won't let this food go to waste.
Are you okay, Mr. Tyrannosaurus?
This is your order, sir. Please enjoy your meal. You, go to the kitchen and wash the dishes.
Okay. Wash the dishes. Verbal. But how? The sink is too short. I couldn't reach it.
You know, this is reminding me so much of Meet the Robinsons, you know, the Tyrannosaurus there.
Yeah.
It's like, I have a big head and little arms.
Ouch, my knee.
Slip. Crash.
Slip.
Crash. Mr. Tyrant, why are you here?
This place stinks.
I got fired and I'm hungry, so I'm eating this leftover food rather than eating the manager. I don't want to get stung by police again.
What is he eating?
I think it might be a
I think
leftover
full
burger,
garbage bags
maybe?
of food?
Oh, that could be too.
It's definitely out of the garbage, and I think it's a bag next to him that he's ripped open.
Okay, we have to find you another job.
Please like, rate, subscribe, and comment.
You should have probably eaten the manager. Would have given him more protein.
What if?
Yeah, I think like if we're reviewing it and trying to be like at least a little critical, I don't have that much to be critical of if
Mhm.
you're, especially as a reader, but I mean trying to voice it for each character, I feel like the dinosaur and person one are like at least kind of interchangeable, which isn't the criticism, but it's like it doesn't matter that much is what I'm saying. But like it is unclear which is saying which when it's just loose bubbles. Is a thing,
Yeah,
but I
that's
mean
the one
that's fine
problem
if
with loose
you're
bubbles.
I would.
yeah, but I feel like that's not that big of a problem unless you're trying to voice them. Which like you don't need to. So
No, the
yeah.
bigger problem here is that this is a comic made to be looked at with your phone, and we're looking at it through a desktop, so
Yeah.
That
we
that
can't
is
really
making it a little
see
difficult
everything.
for
So
us.
it's going to be a little
Some
bit
are just like
difficult.
in the void though.
But overall,
Which like
this one actually is pretty straightforward. I've read much worse doing this.
Yeah, this one's pretty silly. I like
All
the
right,
concept.
so this is going to be the last one, and then we'll have our in-depth
Little
thought analysis.
in-depth talk. Yeah.
nope.
So this is the last
Mr. Tyrant, this time the job is suitable for you. A security guard at the mall.
one.
Okay. Your task is to maintain the security in the mall and respond to criminal acts, like catching robbers and thieves. But I think your scary appearance is perfect for making them hesitate to act, so it's perfect for you.
Yes, the robber will run away.
Oh, am I next? What? Oh,
Yeah.
I'm pretty
sorry, I
sure.
switched screens. Okay. Okay. I went and subscribed to it just now. If
That's
that's
so
a good
fair.
sign. So, yeah.
You know,
Sky
this.
High Mall.
I'm probably gonna have to do that later, but because I keep forgetting. It's so
So
funny.
sparkly.
I think it's funny because like his arms are too short, so they can't go to like his waist. So he's like just
Yeah.
grabbing
Mhm.
himself,
Yeah, he's trying to Superman pose, but
trying to Superman pose, but he's like he looks more like he's doing like the
Tiny
chicken
arms.
pose.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hey,
look!
look, that's a T-Rex, right?
Yeah, he's the one who appeared in the street recently. I saw it in a viral video.
Cool.
Glaring.
He's looking tough.
Well, he's the mighty T-Rex after all. Sorry, can we take a picture?
What?
Thank you.
Hey, I want one too.
Me too.
Wait, darling.
Mommy, I want to see the Mr.
Mommy, I wanna
T-Rex.
see Mr. T-Rex.
Mr. T-Rex,
Mr.
please
T-Rex.
say hi to my viewers.
Viewers?
I'll be this good.
Your voice.
I hit
Okay.
the jackpot. Thanks for the commotion, Mr. T-Rex.
Hey, stop pushing.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Hey, isn't that my wallet, Mr. with the big X? Thief! He stole my wallet.
What? Thief?
You have to respond to all criminal acts, like catching a thief.
I will catch you, thief.
Stomp.
Stomp,
Stomp.
stomp, stomp, stomp.
Stomp, stomp. Oh.
Ah.
Ah! Help! Crash.
Crash. Skirt.
Arr.
Mr. Tyrant, you have caused damage totaling more than $100,000. The bill has been sent to Dinos.
Our funds are limited.
I'm sorry. I'm used to destroying trees and anything that got in my way. When I was hunting and no one asked for any compensation, I guess I got carried away.
That was in the past, but now it's different.
I'm sorry.
Now, even a tree could be someone's property.
Sorry.
Never mind, we have to find you another job.
All right.
This is so not reading I know we're not reading the next one, but I do like how so it's Demolition Worker is like the title. And I mean what I like about that, I mean just like story-wise, is he causes a thing in the last one that lends them to think he'll be better in the next one. So like last time he scared people, so they made him like an authority figure that tries to scare people away from like stealing things and stuff. And this time he wrecks stuff, so they try to make him good at wrecking stuff. So I like how it builds upon itself. You know what I mean?
Oh,
True.
that's
I like
neat.
the idea
Apparently that
yeah,
must have lasted a
yeah.
little longer since there's a part 2.
Yeah. Well, there's a Demolition Worker and then Demolition Worker Part 2.
All
That's
right.
fair. I don't know.
So
Yeah,
I
our
thought you were
that's
talking
fine.
about the security guard one. Yeah.
No, I just meant it must have worked out a little bit better than the last one because there's
Yeah.
a part 2.
all
Yeah,
right.
so I like how it's like episodic and serialized at the same time in that way. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So let us begin
Oh, yeah.
with our little discussion on the thing, on the Mr. T-Rex looking for a job. Now let's begin with art-wise. Art-wise, I think that the stylized dinosaurs are actually very fun to look at.
I like it.
It reminds me of Worthy Kids on YouTube.
Also, the
Mm.
very
like,
dramatic,
animation and music.
detailed drawings of the T-Rex when he's like
Yeah.
going on hunting mode. I think they're really funny as well.
Yeah, that reminds me of like the zoom-ins in SpongeBob.
Oh yeah, the zoom
Oh,
is
yeah.
definitely that's what it.
Yeah. There's like way too much detail,
There's,
so they
like,
look creepier.
Which I think is personally very fun for this kind of story.
Yeah.
Another
yeah,
thing that-
stylistically, like switching between like realism and like cartoonification, I feel like is like just a really interesting concept. Is the thing.
Yeah, I find that style very charming.
I also think that they did a very good job with the backgrounds. Like they're not
Yeah.
they're all very simple and easy to do.
Mhm.
And you can see like they were probably all being drawn by hand because you see like some
Yeah,
lines going
looks-
over where they're not supposed to.
Yeah, to
Yeah, they
me
have
it
some
looks
good
kind
depth
of
to
like
'em
using
also.
a perspective tool. Because I
Mhm.
use a perspective tool quite a bit in my art, and it looks similar to that.
Yeah.
Which is-
Speaking of which, that
It's
is
a very
probably
convenient way.
that is
I
probably
think it's
done
a
by
really
a
smart
perspective
way.
ruler.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think it's a
for,
really
like, straight
smart
lines and
way
stuff.
to do it.
Yeah, it's functional. You know.
It does work out, but I think it like you're talking about using the perspective ruler in Clip Studio Paint, right?
Either that or in Procreate also has
Oh
one.
yeah, Procreate also has one.
Mhm.
The thing that I usually do on
Mhm.
my art is that I draw the sketch with the perspective tool, and then I freehand over it, so it gives like that more of that free feel on it. But this is also fine.
Yeah.
No, if you're not good with
Yeah.
backgrounds, it's a great way to cheat perspective.
Mm-hmm.
I really basically like never did any backgrounds until I started my comic. I really did not consider how much I would
Oh,
have to
me
put
too.
this in as a thing. Yeah,
You and most
I drew like a
artists.
bunch of like I drew like a bunch of like landscape things, like a decent amount of those where it's just like drawing a whole
Mhm.
city, but it's very like wonky. But this time it's like, oh, it has to look good as the rest of the stuff. You know what I mean? But I feel like whatever
Yep.
works. Like with webtoons, especially a lot, just like just solid colors, even just a white void. Like it just works sometimes.
Mhm.
I think with this comic, it pretty much the art does exactly what it needs to do, and it's obviously it's not super detailed, but it's also kind of setting that tone that it's not really that serious. But what they really do well
Mhm.
is capture facial expressions and kind of show emotion through faces, even when the characters are not human. So I think they do a good job of like establishing the feeling of each scene.
Oh, they do that
Yeah.
indeed.
Yeah.
So, anyways, the thing I was gonna say is that backgrounds only need to be detailed when they are the focus of the shot. In most of these panels, the focus was actually the characters. So the background there was just to
Mhm.
ground the characters in some place. They didn't really need to
I
be
think it
very detailed. So,
I think it did a good job at grounding the characters in a space. So
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It did
it
its
did what it
job.
needed to.
It's as present as it needs to be. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Now, story-wise, I also think that this comic did a very good job. It's a very simple premise. It got to the point, introduced the characters in the, what's the name of it again? The difficulty.
T-Rex is looking for a job. Oh, dinos. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it? Something naming services.
Organization.
It like showed like what the story premise is going to be very quickly, and it instantly got into like the difficulties and tribulations that the main character would face. So, good job on the creators for doing that. 'Cause that is
It's
also something
definitely
difficult to
very
do.
silly. I
I
also
think even the
I like to
I was
say
gonna
I
say
like
even
all
the
the
later
thumbnails they
comics.
chose.
Yeah, I was gonna say even the later comics. I feel like the art style is getting like a little less solid color, like a little more detailed. You know what I mean? Like which I feel like it started off really good, but if you're improving, you're improving. So there's that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I still think it was pretty good. Like it started out solid colored, then it does like the very hyper detailed for like the scary panels, and it goes back to solid flat colors,
Yeah.
which I
Mhm.
thought was very fun.
Yeah, I think the thumbnails look a little more detailed for Birthday Clown, for
Mhm.
instance.
Yeah. And I like the thumbnails that you chose because, like, honestly, I think thumbnails and like your cover are really important because
Yeah,
that's what's gonna draw people in to click on your comic in the first place. And I think
Yeah.
these do a pretty good job at kind of showing you what you're getting into as soon as you click on it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, speaking of thumbnails, I would say that the cover art is a little bit wonky because no, not that it's
Yeah.
bad. It's just that T-Rex looks kind of weird from the front. But that's like the thing of like the
Still fair.
character. You can't
Yeah.
really change that.
Mhm.
So maybe like pick a different position for it later, or if people really like that one, then just
Mhm.
keep it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because like you can see, like this person knows how to draw a T Rex in different positions from the thumbnails that he
Yeah.
drew.
Yeah, they've had some practice.
They've had some. This guy was a
Definitely.
dinosaur fan growing up. You can tell. Anyway, overall recommendations. Would you continue reading? Recommend it to a friend? What do you
Definitely.
guys?
I mean, I subscribe
I
to it, so
I think I could see myself reading the rest of it.
mm,
This is definitely really really silly. I wouldn't say it's like a laugh out loud, but it's definitely like a little chuckle. Like it makes me smile. It's silly.
It's a giggle. It's like, oh, look at these antics.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think Snoodigan said it best at the beginning. Just a comic that really knows what it is, and I will say it reminds me a lot of there was an original called I think it was Job Quest or something like that, but it's about a former monster hunter after the world has been thrown into peace, and so now she's trying to find a new job, and every episode is just her struggling to adapt to a different job, and it went on for like 2 or 3 seasons, and so it kind of feels reminiscent of that a little bit, but a bit sillier since it's obviously a dinosaur in this case, and so
Yeah.
it plays a lot with that
This is
physical comedy.
a fifth grader's boy dreams. Like dinosaurs come to the real world, which
Yeah,
I would also recommend recommend and read this one in the future because I thought the story was silly and entertaining enough to keep reading. Overall, everyone, I would say, T-Rex is looking for a job. Pretty good, pretty good story. I would recommend everyone to read it. Before we go to the next one, let me just have a look see on the old chat. And I was just wondering if the comic
it's a
Max
comic.
Inspection is on the list.
Yeah, is that one on the list? I don't know if I saw it.
I do not know. Maybe I should let this publicize this list somewhere on my socials later on if people want to see the list later. So I don't know if it is or if it's not, but if you want to, you can submit it on my next comic roundup post. Omni-Man.
Yeah, what
Omniscient
genre is
Gray.
it?
I don't know, but it's probably Max Inspection. Sounds like a thriller. All right. So
If it is, it's not there.
if it's not, all right, but let's continue on. So
Yeah, let's
Sleepity.
just continue.
Sleepity, what comic did you bring for us today?
So I chose Swallow.
Swallow.
Yes, it is a thriller drama. And I won't bother to tell you what it's about because it pretty much dives right into itself. So it starts off establishing itself very quickly.
All right, let me just check here real quick.
I can send it to you.
Swallow. And while I'm putting it over here, can you tell me what's the reason you chose it?
So I kind of had a challenge with this list because I've actually read almost half of the things on it.
Wow, really?
because I've been doing reviews, and so like a lot of people submitted like most of these comics to me, and so I wanted to choose something that I knew would be fun to read, but also that I thought was like would be really interesting to talk about. And so I didn't really have time to dive in through the ones that I wasn't familiar with, but I chose this one because I think it legitimately has a chance of being shortlisted in the gripping category. It's one of the better ones I've read. So
Oh, it's the gripping category?
yeah.
That's weird. It's not showing up here for me.
Is it the one by Yiren?
Yes.
Okay. It's like a guy, he's holding a fork and the
I put it in the
windows
dice
behind
tray.
him.
Oh,
It's
I
right
see.
there
I
next to
see.
the big eyeball. Yeah.
The fort guy. Alrighty then.
I don't know why it's
So as podcast rules, Sleepity, take us away here with your dramatic voice reading.
Right, so after killing his brilliant best friend, Adrian seizes the chance to take over his life, along with its many coveted perks and relationships. But he comes to realize that dressing in another man's skin comes with some ravenous consequences.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into it. I am expecting some face-off moments in this comic then, with wearing someone else's skin. Ooh, nice thump, thump,
Yeah.
trip, thump.
Wasn't sure whether it was an accident or not.
Huff, 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 huff.
Once I realized what I had done, I had to act quick. I had two choices: fess up or run.
Grab.
The first was messy. Why is he so heavy? What would Tom's parents say knowing what happened to their son?
Step, step.
They had high hopes for his future. They'd kill me if they found out I took their perfect son away. Where should I take him?
Snag. Trip. Crash thud. Ow.
This looks like my only option, at least for now.
Throw. Drop. Glance. Tisk. Sup. Slip.
Still have to clean up the blood.
Touch. Heel. Angle.
Must have come off when I fell. Whether I like it or not, I think I killed my best friend.
Swallow. 1 week ago. Chirp, 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 chirp.
All right, I think that's a pretty good way to end the story. And send. I think that was my best story yet. It's getting chilly.
Shut.
Oh, I'll do that. Hey, Adrian. What are you up to?
Don't sneak up on me like that, Angela.
Sorry, I wanted to talk to you about something, but you seem busy. What were you working on? A new story?
I can't tell her about the writing contest unless I'm sure I'll get in.
getting
Nothing,
hell.
just school stuff. What was it that you wanted to talk about?
Could I ask for your opinion? You know, it's Tom's birthday soon. So I was thinking we could have a small party. Since I also heard he just got selected as a candidate for the university short story contest.
What? Tom's entering the contest too. He's not even a literature major. I thought the due date was today. Are they already selecting candidates?
Clench.
When submissions haven't even finished?
Damn, this story is gripping,
This is
as you
interesting.
said.
Yeah,
Let-
honestly, it only gets better as it goes on. The only unfortunate part about it, is kind of a spoiler, but like the real hook happens in the 5th episode,
Oh.
and so I wish it was a little faster to that. But
What about this? We could give him an all chocolate cake. I mean, who doesn't like chocolate? I can't read her handwriting.
I'd say
Chocolate syrup, chocolate candy hearts, choco sponge cake, chocolate flowers. We could also bring some snacks over to his place. What do you think, Adrian?
Adrian?
Adrian? Adrian? Adrian!
Jolt.
sorry, what was that?
What do you think?
Oh, the dead stare.
Yeah. Is it pretty? The cake.
Yes. I could bring the snacks.
Great! You're his best friend, so you should know all his favorite snacks. Let's plan the surprise next. Next, I was thinking.
Yo, what's that?
I think that. Tom! What are you doing here?
Oh, just skipping class.
What? Again? I'm just assuming that's her. You should really stop that habit.
Oh, but it was so boring. The professor could just put me to sleep in minutes.
Just because you have a high GPA doesn't excuse it.
Tom, I heard you joined the university short story contest.
Oh, yeah, unfortunately. Awkward. It's my father. I kept saying it was not necessary as an acting major, but he insisted that I learn writing to portray roles better. Sorry, I should have told you sooner. Whoop.
Well, congrats on.
Don't let him know we know he's in. It'll ruin the surprise.
Say mouth.
Just his mouth.
Yeah.
month,
Congrats on
maybe?
your
Or-
first submission. Yeah, she's just mouthing it to him.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Oh, okay.
Well, thank you. Snoopity, how about you be this guy?
And the other guy.
Hey Tom, Matthew is calling you.
It's about.
It's about the party on Saturday.
I don't know. Chatter, chatter, chatter.
Chatter.
Chatter, chatter, chatter.
Chatter, chatter. Chatter, 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 chatter. What? Want to invite? Duran's a little total loser. Come on. Come on, he's my best friend.
Hey, Tom, I gotta go. Gotta get to my next class.
Flip. Swallow. Did I skip anything? No.
Page just didn't load in.
Is that just the cold open or what?
Must be.
Yeah. Then it just starts with the nighttime. Ding, 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 ding. Ah, Adrian. You're pretty late today. Had night class? Lucky the manager isn't here today.
I just had some things to take care of.
So, Adrian, how's that girl you're seeing? I haven't seen her in a while. She always used to visit the restaurant. Are you guys getting along?
Look, man, she isn't my girlfriend. She's just a friend.
Really? But you like her, right? She always grinning whenever she's here.
Was it really that obvious?
Then are you gonna ask her out? Wait, don't tell
I don't
me.
think she looks.
Oh wait, that's you, yeah. Ding,
Ding.
ding. Hey, Jonathan, how's it going? Let's see.
Oh,
What can-
that might be the person that walked in.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I think it's the chef guy.
Yeah.
I think
No,
Jonathan's
because
same
they
accent.
say, how's
And-
it going? And then you have the response
Yeah,
from
the-
the show guy.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't know.
working a night shift, right?
And
And
he
then it's like
yeah.
quiet as usual.
Yeah, I
Yay!
don't know, it's really-
I'll get your usual order. I'll turn on the TV for you. Bzzzt. Maria Ray's
Maria-
age-
Mariah Reeves. What? Who's doing this?
I
Could
don't
be
know.
it could be everyone. Maybe it's like an Echo TV.
I'll
Echo
try.
TV.
Mariah Reeves, age 21, from XXX University, has been reported missing.
It's that naughty university.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels like a stand-in. Adding another name to
Uh,
the growing list of missing persons around the university belt.
I would say that the university is called XXX because it's a naughty university. It produces
Yeah,
naughty
I'm
material.
like
Breaking news: multiple missing persons reported. That's what it says on the TV.
Oh. Continue
Her
here.
mother, Nita Reeves, made the report 12 hours after.
Been hearing a lot of people disappearing lately. Mostly girls. It's been all over the news. Whisper, whisper. Must be why he's so busy these days. He's the new guy in the station. He's a cop.
Oh, he's a cop.
Glance. Swish.
Surprise!
Happy birthday, Tom. It's a bit early for my birthday, isn't it? Though I appreciate you coming all the way up to my house. So pink. She must have picked it out.
We wanted to celebrate early. We brought snacks too. Besides, we heard you were selected as a finalist for the university short story contest. We just wanted to congratulate you.
Guys, you didn't have to.
Sure we had to. You're like a brother to me.
Of course.
Of course, you're no brother to me.
Oh, right, it's a girl.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I better not be. Press widen, lean.
Hey, whoa, what the hell is this?
Swish.
Right, we haven't told him. I think you should do it.
Listen, Adrian. Angela and I, we recently started dating. Drop.
What? How recently?
It's been about a month, give or take. Adrian and I.
A month? It's been a month and you never cared to tell me? How could you?
Wait, Adrian! It isn't Tom's fault. I wanted to keep it a secret. The three of us have been friends since high school. Plus, you and Tom go way back. I just didn't want your friendship to feel awkward. I'm sorry. I just didn't want you to feel like a third wheel.
Hat.
Stop. I get it, okay? But you didn't have to worry about me feeling left out.
Clench.
Congratulations. I'm really happy for you guys.
Zzz. Zzz. What?
What?
Ooh.
Well, what happened?
The suspense. Let us see the last one, and then we'll give our 2 cents on the object. This episode contains depiction of self-harm that may be upsetting for some readers. Open grab.
Salutations, Mr. Adrian. I commend your efforts in writing a short story for our university publication. However, we regret to inform you that you have not been accepted as a finalist this year. We hope this does not deter you from honing your craft as a literary student.
Wham.
Oh, of course. Of course I was rejected. Tom wasn't. Whether it's Angela or even my own career path, it's always been him. Smart, good-looking, charming. Everyone loves Mr. Perfect.
Meow.
At least you won't reject me. Right, Luna?
The cat jumps away.
No.
I failed at the one thing I thought I could do better than him. Is it his face? Does she like his looks? Am I not good looking enough?
No.
Click. Slap.
Ridiculous. What am I even doing?
Bzz. You left early tonight. Are you okay? No, you left early. Are you free tonight? Meet up at the courthouse. At the court near my house. The court near
Must
my
be a
house.
baseball, basketball court.
Probably.
Isn't Angela celebrating with him? It's a bit late. Plus, aren't you with Angela?
You said she had to go. Let's meet up. Celebrate with me until midnight. swallow. And I'm really digging these nighttime shots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the backgrounds are really good.
You left early tonight.
I wasn't feeling that well.
Okay, a tennis court. Not what I expected.
I mean, that is true, yeah. Come on. I know that's not it. Boing.
I saw challengers.
Flank. Step out. Wait, what?
I think
Did it
maybe the ball
ricochet?
hit him in the stomach. Maybe?
Did it like ricochet and like hit him in the head?
Well, that doesn't make sense.
I think maybe he had some like abdominal pain and then tripped and
All right, let's see.
yeah, hit him in
It
the
was.
head.
Yeah.
I think it was
And then
coming
he
towards
okay, no,
him.
it's okay. He grabbed his
He stepped
and
out of
then
it, and then
And
the
then he
ball
had a
hit,
stomach
Yeah,
ache all of a
ricocheted,
sudden
and hit in
and
his head. I
that's
think
that.
that's what happened.
yeah, I think he yeah, it says ache. So
Yeah, I think he has a
Yeah, like
separate
he had a
I-
pain.
stomach ache all of a
the
sudden.
order of events is confusing. Yeah.
It is a bit
Ow.
confusing.
Yeah. I don't know.
What the heck,
It feels
Adrian?
like it
You,
hit him in the head and then the stomach and then the head again.
I
I'm
think
not
that's what
really
it
I
looks
know
sure.
that's
like.
not
I
true,
think what's supposed to
but
happen is that it was coming towards him. He steps out of the way. He gets a stomach ache, leans back, and then the ball
Ball
ricochets
hits him
from
in
the
the head.
bag
Is
and like
yeah,
hits him in the
that could be
for,
head.
for a
clearer.
reason that hasn't been
Yeah.
revealed yet.
Yeah. Ouch. What the
Okay.
heck, Adrian? You hit that right at me.
No, really? My bad.
I knew it. I knew you were mad at me. If this is about Angela, I already apologized. She didn't want to tell you yet.
Said I was fine, all right? You can date whoever you want, whether it's her or whoever else.
Crap. Then what's your problem? Spit it out.
Why didn't you tell me about the writing contest? You're not even in literature, and yet you entered. You know how much that meant to me.
That's what this is about? I apologize. I apologize. Father wanted me to join. What was I supposed to do? I didn't think I'd actually get in, so I didn't tell you.
Forget it.
Hey, is it really that much of a deal? That big of a deal? Just because you're competing with each other doesn't mean that you won't have a shot at winning.
I don't. I'm out of the race.
Hey. Hey, I said I was sorry. Besides, this isn't your only shot. There are other contests.
Maybe my best friend. But I really resent him sometimes. You just don't get it.
What exactly am I not getting here? It's just a contest. There's one every year. Adrian, what haven't you told me?
Of all the people I have to tell, I made a deal with my professor.
Ooh,
No, we can't
the
end like that.
suspense. Well, we are ending it like that.
I know.
So,
As I said, the major hook unfortunately doesn't hit until the 5th episode, but what's interesting is that every detail in the first 2 and most of the 3rd episode is important. And so if you pay close attention to everything that's going on, it will be important later. And so it's really well set up.
Mm.
you know, I was gonna say that the pacing of the story is actually really great. It's good that like the story starts basically like at the end, like or at the middle section when the action starts happening, and then you like see how things evolve. Like you can see like the resentment in the best friend, how he has how he likes someone, but he's good at everything, but which makes him like not stand out, and you just see his life falling apart. You can see
Yeah.
nothing goes right. Like he's a writer, but the guy who doesn't write writes better than him. Well, I don't know. I think the rich
Hmm.
boy, his dad like paid so he can be like the finalist for the school. At least that's what it looks like.
Very possible.
And then he's the
I think this is really interesting.
and then the friend's the pretty boy who's popular with everyone, and he has a friend with the nerd that nobody likes because you saw like when he was chatting with the other people, they were like, "Oh, do we have to invite him?"
Yeah, I highly recommend
Hmm.
reading the rest of it when you get the chance,
Oh
because
yeah.
again,
So
the interest there's even more interesting things that haven't happened yet. It's very good.
and
I'll
also,
definitely have to read the last two.
yeah, I'm definitely gonna. This is a definite recommendation reading later here. But I think
Hmm.
the only like critique I can have is like straight action panels like we saw there the in the tennis game,
Hmm.
because you saw like how it was like kind of difficult to read what was going on. But then again, maybe like the author of this comic, their expertise in drawing is more in the stationary poses and more the more like intriguing like suspense poses, not the straight up action, because action is like a art style in itself for you to do.
It
Yeah,
is.
their backgrounds and lighting are really good. I was thinking something that like
Oh, I was gonna
it's
say that the
not
background,
clear.
the night of the
Yeah,
background was my vibe. I really digged it.
yeah, yeah. I was gonna say like something that is just like a pet peeve of mine, but it's way too common to be this person's like fault. Is when you can see people's like when you can see the outlines of people's like nose and eyes and eyebrows through their hair is the thing. Like I get that that's just sort of like
Yeah.
a web.
That's
That's a
a
very webtoon thing to
that is a
do
pet
as a
Yeah,
peeve.
thing.
some people have that in their art style,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I do that
I
sometimes
do
as
That's
that
a
well.
stylistic
with
choice.
some of my characters if they have like a specific like goofy eyebrow shape or something, but
Yeah.
the
Mhm. Yeah,
the
that's
one
like it's just stylization. I get it. So
It's
yeah.
stylization. Like everyone has their art pet peeve. I've met so many people online that have
Oh,
the same
fair.
pet peeve as you do. That like don't like that
Mhm.
you can see eyebrows and eyelashes through the hair because that makes no sense.
yeah.
For me personally,
Mhm.
my artist pet peeve is the droopy eyes, where they like instead of drawing eyelashes, they just droop the eyeball down.
Hmm.
Well, for me, it's
What
like,
were you
what
gonna
the
say
heck
again?
is that? Oh, you've never seen that before?
What?
Uh, I'm not sure.
Are you
I
talking
might
about where
I,
they like make the lower line of the eye the shape of eyelashes, but it's just filled in with white?
Oh yeah, yeah, that I call those the droopy eyes, because the
Okay.
eye is just basically melting and
uh,
becoming the bottom
Uh,
eyelash.
mhm.
And
yeah, I
it
do that sometimes with like yeah. I try not to go too crazy with it because it looks weird sometimes if you
no, for
go
me
too
it looks
far.
weird anyway, but that's like I have to understand that that's a pet peeve of mine that I really hate. But people like it, so you just gotta live with it sometimes. But I don't like doing it.
Yeah. Also, the
That's fair.
glasses
We
don't connect to their ears.
Oh, that. For me personally, I just think they all have just Morpheus glasses when they do that. Like Morpheus
Yeah.
from the
Mhm.
Matrix, that they
For sure.
glasses that just
Yeah.
clip onto the nose.
Yeah. But yeah. Really, with stylization, I mean, with anybody, it's really
Mhm.
the unless you're Alex Ross, it's really the pot calling the kettle black is the thing. Like people's eyes don't go white when they're surprised, but I always draw that because it's fun, you know. So
That
Mhm.
is true, yeah.
and people don't stretch and contract or and like lizard people aren't real, but I'd be drawing them, you know.
So now,
So
Fair.
all
it
right, and
happens. Yeah,
another
it's just okay.
another personal art critique I have with this comic is that
Mhm.
this is not a bad thing. This is just a pet peeve of mine that it looks like these characters were drawn using a 3D model as a
It's
base.
possible. I was gonna say the one thing that's bothered me a little bit is there's a lot of just these blank expressions.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
Especially
say.
where
Yeah,
there's like this panel in particular.
yeah,
Like
like
you'd expect like maybe her mouth would be open or something, but it's closed. And I just noticed that a lot there was a lack of variation in expression.
I think what was really
Some
missing was
some panels they
shading.
did really good.
Yeah, some panels were really great,
Yeah.
but some panels I think what was missing was more shading to make it more look more
Mhm.
realistic. Because like for example, like the panel where the girl is looking straight at the MC right here, like the eyes look
Mhm.
kind of dead here.
Well, there's no highlights in
There's no
the
highlight in the
eyes.
eyes.
And
Even
there's no
shading,
variation.
even like a little bit of shading
Yeah,
under the eyelid, so it looks like there's some
could have
shake
helped.
there. The mouth didn't help
The hair looks
either.
really good though.
Hair looks
Mhm.
good, but the
The hair looks
facial
good.
expression was kind of dead, and
I
there was
think
a
the
bunch of
biggest
these.
like
There was a bunch of these dead expressions throughout the entire comic.
yeah,
And I think
I think
like
like
when with a thriller, dead expressions like that can be like really useful at certain points. But there's just a lot of them here. So I'm not really sure like if like it's supposed to be that way or if just they just didn't really change the expressions when it should have been. I'm not really sure.
I was thinking that
But it seems more like it's just there's just not a lot of variation, and like you said, that you probably used a 3D model maybe
which
to
it's not bad.
draw
I'm just
over.
saying it's
It's not
probably
bad, no.
it's just like it becomes very evident after a while. Also,
yeah.
Mhm.
I was
as a personal pet peeve, this comic does use 3D assets for the backgrounds, but they do hide
Mhm.
them enough so that you don't immediately notice. But they are
It is
there.
worth pointing out.
yeah, I don't think I could
I don't
spot
know how much of it they made themselves, but I know that they did make a couple of posts on the Canvas subreddit about at least the house, the main house that the guy lives in. They designed some of the 3D assets themselves.
Oh, so they made the assets
I mean,
themselves? That's pretty cool.
that's probably why it meshes well with their art style because they know they know their limitations.
yeah.
It's
So yeah,
usually
I don't know if they
I
did
was gonna
Mhm.
all
say
of them,
like
but I know that
my
they did design some of the assets.
no, because you can like you.
I was gonna say my only
No, go ahead. Say what you want.
oh I
Mhm.
mean I was gonna jump to a different topic, but yeah, go. So you go.
No, I was gonna say that for me personally, 3D assets are fine if you don't notice them immediately. And you couldn't notice them
Mhm.
immediately, but you like if you stare at them for a little bit, then you can see that they're like for example, like the housing, like the university, for
Mhm.
example, is a big 3D asset. The trees
Mhm.
are in the university as well, or it's a custom brush.
Yeah. What I was gonna say is the lettering. I feel like uh is a problem. Is a thing like they always have instead of having interconnected bubbles or second bubbles, they have stuff that takes place outside that they have sentences that are put outside the bubbles. And I feel like a good
Oh, like this
example
right
of
here?
yeah, I feel like that's like an actual like structural problem because it makes it feel like it's like a whisper in the background, but it's supposed to be like a whole new sentence is the thing. And I actually didn't point it out, but we missed Angela was it when we were reading,
Mhm.
and I didn't point it out so that I could point it out now to point out like this. That's like I feel like that's the only
You're talking
structural
about like
problem here. Is the thing.
the little tiny sentences that are outside of the word bubbles?
Yeah, yeah. I feel like you should just
You know,
extend the bubbles. I think
I see those a lot in like Korean
yeah.
manhwa and in like manga as well. So it could just be that they like are referencing foreign comics and just not executing it the same way.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like
Sure.
a
Yeah.
stylistic thing, like they're
I
trailing
no,
off, and
I
it's
personally think that
I think
the
it's too easy to miss is the
no.
thing.
What I was
If
gonna
it's if they're
say
saying something important,
Exactly.
yeah.
What I was gonna say is that those comics usually have a bunch of like these trailing off little words because they're like it's like the person like just
Mhm.
mumbling under their breath. I think it works better in traditional
Mhm.
comics where you can like look you can look closer, but in these comics, I don't think it works that great. It's not a great asset to put in
No.
your comics
Yeah.
because people don't want to keep zooming in and zooming out. Like we've been zooming in and zooming out in
Mhm.
this comic a lot to try to read it, try to get those things.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
I
And
heard I've been reading the book Understanding Comics by Scott McCloud recently, and one of the things he said
Hmm.
was he was talking about different transitions is the thing, and he said that in Eastern comics, mostly manga is what he's talking about, they instead of going from action to action, or like he gave like 5 examples, that type of thing. He was saying that like being there is more popular than going there in like manga is a thing. So I feel like this is kind of
Mhm.
part of that style, you know what I mean? Like you're kind of supposed to like sit and like search the panel and like get every detail and stuff. In a comic that's like cutting this way and supposed to be like a more dramatic story than atmospheric, I don't think it works necessarily as well with like in conjunction with the type of storytelling going on. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Oh, I get
Yeah,
it.
no,
So
It's just something
I
I was
think I
reading
know what you
recently.
mean. Yeah.
I understand
Yeah.
what you're saying. So basically, like the little onomatopoeia, the little whispers, they're kind of like distracting you
Yeah.
from the main story than like helping you explore the story better. I can see that.
A little
Yeah.
bit. I think it's
I
more supposed to
think.
be that I think what I'm talking about is like if you're kind of like he was saying that it's a lot more atmospheric, and like what I was saying, there's a lot more being there than there is going there, as in like there's a lot more
Mhm.
like sort of long pauses where you're supposed to like just like take in the atmosphere, than in a more like dramatic story with this, where it's like you're like exploring these relationships and stuff. So I don't know, I'm not an expert, I just read part of a book on it. The thing, so
Yeah.
yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
this kind of thing with like the little words like this might be like more successful in like a romance comic, or like even like a comedy comic, like
Mhm.
a character whispering under their breath after they said something, and it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
But like in a dramatic story like this, like you were saying, I'm not really sure if that like it really works or comes
Yeah.
across. Like I feel like those should have just been in another bubble.
Mhm. Yeah, parts of it are easy to miss is kind of the structural problem with it, you know what I mean?
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
the words that they did pull out don't seem to be like that relevant to the story,
Yeah.
because one's just asking this
Mhm.
guy if he's working the night shift, and the other is like, I'll turn on the TV for you. It's like you don't really need to
Yeah.
know that information, but it it still is annoying that it's that small and just kind of pulled out, especially the one up high, the work in the night shift one, because it's like over a background. It makes it harder to read.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with Webtoon's resolution is like super low, so with like
Mhm.
white on black or black on white in small letters, it gets pretty hard to read. That's why I jumped ship
Mhm.
from Webtoon to Global Comics, because they were making me draw pixel art for smaller panels. So I was not a fan of that, because I was trying to do like normal comic structure instead of like the normal like scroll thing. You know what I mean? So
Oh, that's fair.
Oh,
Yeah, Global Comics
Webtoon
is a really
Webtoon
better way
is
to
not
go.
it
made
didn't
for
work out for
traditional
me.
comics. You're gonna
No.
suffer if you
Mhm.
try to make a traditional comic Webtoon because not only will it
Yeah.
look really bad, nobody want to read it because everyone's lazy.
Yeah, I had to tap
Yep.
out.
It's understandable.
Yeah.
So, story style and art style we've already discussed. Now, recommendations. As we
Mhm.
said, this is a very good story. I would recommend it to everyone I see because it's just so gripping. I want to
Mhm.
see how the guy kills his best friend, and also, I can kind of see like
Mhm.
where he comes from because who wants to have a friend that like does everything that you do but better?
Better than you. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's even more layers to this, I promise. But yeah, highly recommend it. I think I fully expect to see this in the short list, honestly.
Yeah.
I've read a lot of
Yeah, I
the
could
most
see
gripping
it.
categories.
If this makes it to
It
the short list, just like I will say it, my dog is a mafia boss that I read a few weeks ago.
that
That
one's
one
pretty funny.
that one has to make it to the short list. That one's hilarious.
But yeah, I definitely recommend this to like people that like drama and mystery and that sort of thing. Like I feel
Mhm.
like those are the people that are gonna eat this up.
Yeah. All right. Now before we go to the next one, let me get a look at the chats real quick. Let's see. Opening it up. Let's look at Twitch first. So real. Yeah, pet peeve being the balloon bubbles, balloon blobs. Yeah, those are annoying as well when you have a balloon but it doesn't have like a tail, so you don't know where it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Make it make sense with the body. I recently read a
And they're
comic with the panel where their
eyeball.
hair was overlaid with eyeballs, but the eyelashes were over the hair strands.
Oh no.
How you get to see that the eyebrow expression if the eyebrows are being covered by the hair? The 3D models maybe
Yeah,
make it a little stiff. That is true.
that's
That's what.
possible. Yeah.
No, the 3D using the 3D models, characters do make the the posing very stiff, and that's kind of one of the tips. What tips me off when I see like really stiff posing is like it's probably being aided by a 3D model. And I'm in animation, student we taught to only
If
use references.
sometimes I will use like a 3D model as a reference for like a basic pose or something, but I won't trace it. I'll just kind of be like, okay, so that's kind of how things are moving, and then I can, and that's only if I can't find like an actual reference.
Yeah, do
But
gesture pictures because those help a lot. Now let's look at
yes.
the old YouTube. Yeah, Swallow is a great story. Awesome getting to see many comics, like when the whites of their eyes go into the eyelashes. Yeah, they're talking. That was my pet peeve. The white of the eyes go into the eyelashes. I hate that. Just makes it look like the eyeball is melting, and it looks weird. I don't like it.
Yeah.
All right, as I said,
I do think it's really funny for like tears though, if you have like the big hanging
oh
tears,
my
like
God, that is
for like
even
a little
worse.
comedy chibi. I think it's so funny though.
No, you have the melting eyeball and the waterworks on top of it. Just
Mhm.
kill me now.
Mhm.
Just just end my life seppuku style. See, I agree with the 3D model thing. Directly tracing them makes things look uncanny sometimes. Oh, it's every time. You have to be
Mhm.
very experienced with drawing poses to make the 3D model look good. But then again,
Yeah,
if you're really good, you don't really need the 3D model. So it's a catch 22 over there.
exactly. There was this one manga I read, and I could definitely tell that they were using 3D
Because it
models the
never
further I got
meshes with the
into
art
it.
style.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go with the next one. Lillipop, what comic have you brought
Okay.
for us today?
So it might be a little surprising, but the one that I was interested in that stood out to me was called A Grave Depiction.
Let's see, a
They
grave.
don't have, it's not very big yet. They only have like 200 views on it, but the thumbnail art really stood out to me. It's by Omu Rice.
Did I write
Grave
it?
with a
Grave has
Y
a
in it.
Y. Yeah, it's Grayv.
Oh,
Yeah.
a grave. Oh, this one.
Yeah.
And can you tell me why you chose this one? By any chance? What was the
Well,
reason
at
behind it?
first, it's just I was looking through trying to find one that seemed interesting to me, and then I saw the thumbnail for this one, and immediately I was really interested, and I really liked the way that the art looked.
Oh,
So I immediately took a peek at it, and I was like, "Yep, I wanna read more of this. This seems
oh yeah,
interesting."
the art for this one is very anime.
Is this the
Yep,
only horror one on the list?
it might
I
be.
think it is the only horror one. All right, Lulipop.
Interesting.
Contest rule. I mean, podcast rules. You chose. You read. Go ahead.
Read the description. All right. Aura Lynn doesn't need attention or accolades for being the picture perfect employee, girlfriend, and daughter. Already steeped in enough family drama, there's really no need to pay heed to the ghost haunting her, and question if they're real or a symptom of a troubled mind. That is, until she's suddenly commissioned by the heir of the enigmatic Grave family. Thrust into the spotlight, what dark secrets will be revealed alongside her?
Ooh. We got a little Mary Sue there with which perfect at everything, but with a dark past. Ooh. Let
Mm-hmm.
us look. Let us see what is gonna happen in this one. Oh, nice. All right,
All these
Lily.
sketchbooks and art supplies. Yeah. I didn't realize the young master was learning to draw. Let's see what we have here. Hmm,
Flip.
it's the same woman over and over again. An infatuation or obsession? Hold on a minute. Isn't this Aura?
Let's see.
It's another
Shippity,
character.
Shippity be mysterious man or woman.
Miss Ophelia. It's not polite to look through someone's sketchbook without their permission.
Oh my god, the voice just matched perfectly.
Young master.
I can never get her expression quite right.
No, it's really good. I mean, I could tell it was aura from her furrowed brows.
Is that so?
My cousin always seemed angry with the world. It's really tragic what happened to her. Auntie used to say that Aura was a troubled soul, even though she never showed any signs of it. It's like she wanted to make it impossible to know what she was really thinking. That's why no one could help her in the end. I know she was the official artist for your portrait. I mean, the whole town of Ameba knew. But what exactly was she to you?
What was she to me?
Aw, do you miss me already, huh? Mr. Florian Grave? Or do you feel guilty? For what you and your family did to me?
Grave depiction. 2 years prior. Why aren't the cakes out of display yet? It's almost time for the morning rush. Let's move. I think this is.
I'm on it, chef.
Yeah.
Might be her, I'm not sure.
It might be the girl. Yeah. Be careful. Be careful of the cakes in the middle shelf, Arya. I made it earlier this morning. Custom orders from an important client, so protect it with your life. Do you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Those chicken people?
I
Wait.
think so. That's the thing that I wasn't really sure when scrolling through this if they actually are chickens or if that was like just like something that they just did for background
Are
characters.
there just
Yeah.
chicken
'Cause you,
people
like-
here?
Yeah, because you'll like see other like animal heads on people at other points too.
Mhm.
Mhm.
You think this is linked with the dinosaur one?
Oh, who knows? Maybe.
Oh my god, the perspective break here.
Yeah, it's pretty broken.
Ding 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 ding.
And just like clockwork, Miss Mayfair comes every Friday morning and orders the same thing without fail. A slice of orange dream cake and a small black coffee for here.
Snoot again. I choose you.
Why, that's exactly right. Thank you, my dear.
What story does she hold? I'd like to imagine that she and her husband dreamed of moving to the Orange Coast with its endless summers and warm beaches. But things happen, plans change, and before you know it, you realize life is as dark and bitter as the coffee you sip every morning. Now you're an 80-year-old widow who realizes how insufferable most people are.
Well, that turned dark.
So you eat alone at a local bakery because it's the only thing that makes you happy. Yes, everyone has a story. Everyone is the main character in their own private mind. It's a blessing and a curse once you start to see strangers as these grand sculptures instead of paper-thin cutouts. The world becomes much fuller.
Look, Mom. Look,
Look,
Mama.
Mama, she... Oh, shit.
Yeah, it'll be, look, Mama. She's making a bear.
More complex. You do realize that no amount of extra work is going to get you a raise, right? And mildly more infuriating. It's not about that. Take my coworker Sam, for example. A college graduate with an impressive lexicon, almost as impressive as her lack of urgency.
We live in
I
a.
don't know if you still.
Is it the same person? Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same person up there.
We live in a Nepo
It,
society. In the end, it's like. It's not like what you know, it's about who you know.
no surprise, though, considering her true passion lies in philosophy and podcasting, which is exactly what this world needs right now, an extra dose of pseudo-intellectualism.
Another Redditor.
I just think if you're going to show up to work every single day, you might as well get some fulfillment out of it. After all, time doesn't wait for any
Ding ding.
one. I've heard haunted places often have a sudden chill about them, once you step within its vicinity. There's an oppressive darkness, an eerie stillness that pervades and sinks deep into your bones. I wonder, is it possible for a family to be haunted? We're picking up a cake. Sure, and what is the name it's under?
Ooh,
Grave.
look at that face.
I know, right?
Uh,
Is it to your liking, sir?
yes, exquisite. True work of art. I'm sure young master will be pleased. 1,000 videries for your services. And please give our compliments to the Monsieur Komugi. Slam. I think this is whispering from people.
Yeah, I think these are all just whispering from people.
Haunted.
His family in town.
Wealthiest family. Those two aren't they the Grave household? That's right. I believe they're the head of and maid butlers. The young master's turning 25. I heard it's a big deal. Important portrait, elaborate parties. Burrow.
What strange people. I wonder what their story is. Annie, Rob, see you next time.
Sorry about that.
You're good.
I don't know if y'all can hear that. My dogs are barking because my brother just got home, but it'll be fine. They stopped now.
They haven't been as talkative these days.
Bringing home ham and cheese croissants for your boyfriend again?
Hmm?
And a slice of cake? That's very like you, Arya.
Ah, well, I guess today is just one of those days.
Messages. No new messages. Frowny face. Sad face. Ooh. Scare away. Let us continue on to see what's going to happen.
Oh, you again. Looking absolutely pathetic, especially during this time of year, huh? I mean, look at that disheveled hair and miserable looking face. Do you think anyone is going to show any ounce of pity when you look like that?
Ooh.
No, they're just going to roll their eyes and walk away. Fine. Let's get you home
I would never
before you embarrass
imagine.
yourself.
I will never imagine somebody sees a ghost and just rolls their eyes and walks away. Like, you look pathetic.
Makes me wonder how many times she's seen them.
Yeah. It's like, come on. If you can dream it, you can live it. Everyone who becomes someone starts with Amy Ba. Dream. It's a cold winter in Amoeba. But don't let it stop your hustle. Amoeba is a funny name for a city. Ooh, there's cow people here too.
Yeah.
Welcome to the town of Amoeba. We can all agree on harmony. Merits reward for leading on the black markets. Ding. New message. Super weekend sale at Pearls before swine. Up to a whooping 80% off in selected styles and jewelry. Uncover your next hidden gem at the unbeatable price. And the girl's hair is actually really long. Look at that thing. I wonder if somebody steps on it. Inhale, exhale.
Zayan, Hilda, my babies, I'm home.
Snoot again. How about you with this guy?
Yo, how was work?
Same as usual. Although some weird-looking people came by to pick up a cake. Were you playing Gamin' Intact all day? Eh.
Gain it intact.
Who's that fox girl?
Snoot again?
Is that me again? Just some rando I met online. Want to join?
I think that's still him.
It's still him.
It's not too late to make an account.
You know I'm not a fan of gambling, Zian.
Ah, come on, it's not gambling. Give it a try. I think you'd like it. Especially since you're an artist, you can appreciate all the cool character designs.
Say that again?
Yeah, it's cool designs.
No, before that, you called me an artist, huh?
Well, duh, isn't that what you are? I know you said you're on the verge of giving up. But I believe in you.
I love you so much, babe. Oh, right, I brought back your favorite.
And you're so awesome. Is that me again?
I mean,
I think so.
You've been
Yeah, it
white.
says having a
I think
problem
it's
with
the
both
You've
having a
been
bubble.
white tax for a while.
Cake also? That's unlike you.
Yeah, well, I guess today's just one of those days.
Well, I'm not really a fan of sweets, so it's all yours, sweetie. You threatened me with giving me a romantic lead earlier.
It worked out, didn't
You
it?
did it
I
on
thought this was a horror story.
You
I
never saw it
briefly scrolled
coming.
through the beginning of like the
Is it
first
gonna become
chapter.
that?
I don't know.
Nice ghosts.
That was terrible. My bag is all full. Maybe we should head back to town. Zian, hello? Are you AFK without telling me? Meanie, teehee, JK. Okay, so maybe he's cheating. Oh, I'll wait for you forever.
Ooh.
It's probably him again.
Yeah.
It's him.
Probably him again, yeah. But she's black text and he's white text. So where are you, Snoot, again?
Oh, sorry. Secret admirer? You've been checking your phone all day.
I was just looking through articulture.
Really? Aren't you taking a break from it? I believe your exact words were, "That app is utter crap."
I mean, we don't really have any other options. It's the only app
Sweet.
for artists. I guess it doesn't hurt to see what's been going on.
Wowzers.
Is that you at Aria Borealian? It's been eek 112 days since we last saw you. Holy jeebers, that's gross. The award for slackers, the award for slacker of the year might as well go to you. But don't you worry, we'll get you buzzing again with these pollen bonuses. Remember to award it to your favorite. Remember to award it to your favorite posts. The more pollen an artist gets, the higher their merit, and the more they will be seen. Psst. Only in order to keep the experience enjoyable for everyone. Make sure to report any questionable posts. You'll be awarded handsomely with merits. Got it? Go! Now have fun and be happy. Oh. At Ojira, I don't believe in parasocial relationships, but can I be for real? I love you all, seriously. My followers are the light of my life.
We love you too, Prince.
Love you more.
Do you reference yourself? No wonder your art is so beautiful.
Your skin is flawless, OG-sama. All my pollen is yours.
Oh my god, that's
Oh no! Ugh, is this guy still popular? His thirst traps have more likes than his actual art. How do his fans not notice those dead, narcissistic eyes? It's so creepy.
Speaking of narcissism, at Morty Siat, I'm such a huge fan of at Poppy Pie. Can we pollinate his post so that we can reach him? Maybe he'll have us just share. Maybe he'll even share with his followers. This pollen thing sounds weirdly sexual.
It does.
And
What?
I think that's actually on purpose, which makes it funnier.
God, it does. Another fan art for a famous influencer. Typical Morticia art. If you looked up the definition of clout chaser, you would find her name there underlined and highlighted.
God.
Art god Paulo did it again? Paulo posted a new piece?
Oh,
His technique always looks so effortless, a true master of his craft. You gifted Apollo pollen.
hmm. How about one of you guys read it this time?
I will. I drew fan art at Marigolda. I drew fan art of Reyna from Game and Impact. This is my first post here, but I'm proud of how this turned out.
No, game and impact does sound really funny. Because you know what the reference is.
Mm-hmm.
Very thinly.
It's that
Guys.
Fox character from Xian's gotcha game.
You
Yeah,
know-
no, it definitely
You know
is.
it would be really funny if it was instead of oh, it's intact, which I was gonna say it's intact,
Attacked.
which is
Yeah, I
even
can't read.
that's even funnier if you think about it.
A barding artist, huh? The pose is really cute. There's a lot of potential.
Why is the face so wonky? There, fixed it for you.
Hey, no one asked you to fix anything. Leave the original alone.
Poke. Swish. 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 Your comment failed to send due to your account being blacklisted. Blacklisted accounts are a result of having negative merits. You can go to the help in the center to learn tips and tricks to how to increase your merit and correct your status.
This insufferable art community, huh? This app is insufferable.
Huh?
Huh? When did it get this late? How long was I scrolling for?
The doom scrolling. It just takes
Mhm.
it takes hours off your life.
Well, there goes. The day.
Tick tock, tick tock.
Hmm. Sleep, my longtime nemesis. I will surely best you. Another night. Hilda, baby? Is that you?
Rub, rub, rub. Wait, is that the girl?
Aw, babe, did you do this? It's a little late for a surprise, don't you think? Babe, did I do this while half asleep? I guess I'd be the only one who'd remember. Happy birthday, Orlin. Make a wish. Make it count.
The hell is that right there?
I think it's a
The reflection from the
skeleton.
smoke.
The Skelly Man.
Yeah.
I think it's actually her, except without
But
eyeballs.
yeah, I think it
Yeah,
is.
it's
I
like
think
the smoke
the smoke
covers
is
her, and
this
where it
like
covers her,
this.
it's the skeleton. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
could be. Ding.
You received a direct message from Morelli Grave. Greetings, Aura Borlin. I hope this message finds you well. I have the recent pleasure of coming across your articulture page.
Oh, I'm going to definitely have thoughts and opinions about this, the social media digital
Yeah.
world experience. I hope this
I was really
finds
impressed
you.
with the storytelling and symbolism in your work. Unfortunately, I was unable to. What the? I haven't posted on articulture in forever. And who on earth still talks like this? You see, I'd like to request a portrait commission for the amount of 500,000 villaderas to be completed by the end of year's time. 500,000? Best regards, Morale Grave. When something sounds too good to be true, then it must be a scam.
Swish. Alright, class. Today we'll be warming up by playing Amobella.
Is it like
Amoeba.
amoeba?
Amoeba tag? Amoeba tag. It's game over once everyone is caught. Ready? Set. Go! Who the... What is with that face?
I don't know.
I'm just gonna accept that, in this world, some people just have weird heads. Oh, come on! Spread out! Save yourself! Save yourself, Ara! Did we give everyone? Wait, there's one more. It's Aura! Aura hasn't been caught yet! Get her! Come join us, Aura. Come join us. Become part of us.
Get away! Don't come any closer! Stop the game! I said stop! The game! Oh, it's morning already. Aura, honey, happy belated birthday. I'm sorry I forgot to call. Can I make it up to you? Brunch at our usual place?
Fishes. Lots of fishes.
A lot of fish.
Look at your photo brow again. You're going to get forehead wrinkles like Like me if you don't fix that bad habit of yours. Ouch.
Ouch. What wrinkles? You haven't aged a day since I was born, Ma.
Oh my. When did my daughter become such a sweet talker? You must have learned it from your father.
Can we get some more tea?
And just like your father, you really need to cut back on the chili and tea.
Mother, the caffeine and capsaicin are the only things keeping this body going. And stop comparing me to Dad.
Are you still mad at him?
Jeez, Mom, how many windows do you have open?
Oh my god, I feel that. I feel that so much. With my parents.
True, my sister has so many open that she has like a little smiley instead of a number.
Well, I feel like you're talking a little. You're taking it harder than me. Look, I'm already over it. You know how men are.
Lock this memory. You will no longer receive unwanted flashbacks of this event.
Speaking of, how are you, Ian?
Block this number. You will no longer receive calls or texts from this number.
Here, I emailed back your landlord and cleared all your scam texts. Remember what I told you?
If it's too good to be true, then it must be a scam.
In private, my mother loves the flexibility with which my career decisions have allowed. That's why she always comes to me for help whenever she has another technical conundrum.
Pigman. Added to the list of people. Celeste, is that you? Steve, what a coincidence.
Hi, Auntie Estelle. How's Ophelia doing?
Look, that girl refuses to leave the house and doesn't even help with the chores. I have no idea what went wrong with her, but I blame it on schools. Did you know that they forgot to call the Harmony Bridge to vet the library? Poor Ophelia probably read something that rattled her core. We had no choice but to send her to the sanitarium and hope for the best. Arya, when you have the time, please go visit your cousin and talk to her. She needs a good example.
Of course, Auntie. Unfortunately, being a private translator and tech support is nothing to brag about.
Celeste, you're so lucky to have such a beautiful and sweet daughter. Alright, are you still doing drawing thing?
Neither is working part-time at a bakery while pursuing your passion in the arts, and so she always has to divert the conversation to...
Snatch. Celeste, have you heard from my eldest lately? You know, Amada was recently promoted to sales leading her company.
Amanda. Name meaning worthy of love. Quite fitting. She was always the favorite daughter. Not that I mind. Yeah, I seriously don't care at all. I doubt that. What do you mean you don't believe me? It's true, the limelight was never for me. For as long as I can remember, I've always felt more comfortable lingering in the shadows.
Step.
The things that most people find strange and disturbing, I find solace in, after all. They say that art holds the power to disturb the comfortable. And comfort the disturbed.
Password.
Platypus.
Welcome to the black market. Plagiarate or revolution?
Knock knock, Bastion.
Who hasn't done a voice in a while? How about Sheepity? How about you be this guy?
All right. Yo, Ara, didn't expect you so soon.
What the hell is wrong with his ears?
I was thinking the same thing.
No, maybe it's a different animal. Let's add him to the weird animal list.
How could I resist after
They just
hearing you
don't know how to
got
draw
Kafuka?
ears with that skin color.
I don't
It's
know.
on the top shelf with the rest of the Ks. I heard it was his most controversial. Something about necrophilia?
Oh, what the?
Ooh.
Oh, how romantic.
Painting the capricious minds of young ladies such as yourself. No wonder it was immediately tossed in the gutter. Anyways, how's the art gig going? Still doing commissions?
Not after that last incident. It was a total disaster.
What the hell is going on with the perspective here? She's just floating in the air.
Yeah. So I will make notes. I only like briefly scrolled through the beginning of this, and I was only interested because the thumbnail looked nice, but like the more I'm looking at, the more I'm wondering.
All right, well, let's just hold on to our
Got
thoughts and
it, but
opinion
we'll
till
hold
the
on.
till this.
Yeah.
We'll get there. Don't worry about it.
I was thinking of shifting gears into storytelling instead.
If that's the case, this may not be the best place to look for inspiration. If you want any chance at being seen, at least, you gotta give the people up there what they want.
I don't care what they want.
Look, I say this as your friend, but that's exactly your problem, Ara. You're always trying to go against society, but you have to learn to give in a little. In order to win, you have to play the game.
Game? What if I don't want to be part of the game? At least that's what I've always thought. But at some point, a ghost, or should I say a number of ghosts, began to whisper that I'll never amount to anything with that kind of thinking. I don't know if that doubt is really mine or everyone else's. I doubt that's greater than my own. Anyway, I've decided that maybe it's better to keep my art to myself. Because as soon as someone shows passion for something, there's always someone else waiting on the other side wishing to exploit it. And those people are only passionate, or should I say obsessed, with one thing.
Ding. Catch.
Oh, hello, what's your story? A gentleman with unusual gray eyes browsing in the banned books section. Are you also a fan of Kafuka's tragic humor? Or perhaps your tastes lean towards something more risque?
What might that be?
Pardon?
You didn't finish your sentence before you fell. What are those people obsessed with exactly?
Woo!
Crap, they found us already? Leave everything and get out of here, both of you!
What's going on, Bastion?
Snarl.
A harmony raid.
Dog people
heads.
added to the list.
What?
You know, these animal faces are starting to be really funny. Just out of nowhere, dog,
They are.
animal person. Hold on, isn't that Aria? Who the hell's she with? Well then,
That's where it ends.
and that's where it ends. So let us get into our thinking section.
First off, the 3D assets are very obvious.
Yes. I was gonna wait to like mention that, but yes, the 3D assets are very obvious. I would
I figured to get
imagine
the obvious out of the way.
I would imagine that the artist here is really good at drawing people, but not good at drawing backgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
So they just went
Their backgrounds are
overloaded
pretty cool.
on the background on the
The
3D
background,
assets.
yes, it's yeah.
Uh,
I think they did a good job at like doing the lighting of the backgrounds and stuff. And there's some cool panels, but I have to say it doesn't really feel like a horror. So I don't know if it's really categorized properly.
No, I would say it's probably a horror, but the thing is that the story isn't really
It doesn't really
clear.
get to it.
No, it's not really a
Yeah.
clear
Yeah, I
story.
think
Like, no, go
the
ahead.
story is definitely very like unique, and like it's the only thing that's like it that I've seen, and it probably has like my
Mhm.
favorite art so far, but I'm really not following it. Like I
Yeah.
don't even get the relation between like the guy that's in the first scene is only in one other scene. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Talk your shit, I guess.
No, it's not
Go
really
off.
talking shit.
But
I would say that
yeah.
the story
No, I'm
beats
saying
no, the main
I'm saying
story
like be
beats of
yourself,
what would make
that's
the
what I'm saying. I'm
story.
not saying it's bad.
No, what I would say is that the main story beats that would make the story coherent are not there. Like you start
Mhm.
looking at a
Yeah.
person that you think maybe this person is going to be the main character because he's obsessed with the person. Then we go see what the other
Yeah.
person is, and I think they're going to the story's gonna eventually, gonna progress or evolve into the reason why
Mhm.
this this person did something to the other person, but you don't really get what happened. You don't know if they killed them, they made it disappear, because it leaves
Yeah.
it very vague. And also you don't really get like what's the story about. Is it a person that's going to be a killer? Like what the one that we saw before, like
Yeah.
Swallow, I think it was very like well
I think it's very
explained.
clear
No, it's
in what
very
it was.
clear that it's going to be a that it's going to be like a murder mystery. Like this person killed this other person. Now we're gonna
Mhm.
see why and how they did it. This one you don't really get what's going on. Did they kill it? Because in the beginning it's
No.
like it showed like
'Cause
oh this you did something to me, but you don't really get did this person killed this girl character? It's like
yeah,
yes,
like
no,
did the
maybe you don't know.
yeah, you
And
I
don't know.
think
It's
that
very unclear.
I think that
You're
they
saying?
mention in the third episode there's a reference to Kafka. They use a different name, but I think they're kind of going for that Kafka-esque style of like philosophical metaphor. And so, there's people with the animal heads, and then there's like the ghosts. And the implication that I got was that some of that stuff might not be literal. Like maybe that's just her way of looking at the world. And so it's trying. It seems like it's trying to do something like creative and profound, but it's just a little bit hard to follow like what's actually happening and like if it's real or not. But
Mhm.
I was gonna say that, like, another story beat that was very confusing was the ghost appearing because you don't know if she can see ghosts or if she can't see ghosts. Because,
Yeah.
like, a ghost just appears and she goes like, Psh, "Get over yourself." Like it's like a
I
thing
think
that's
the
normal for her. But if it's really
I think
normal,
it's
then you
like
would see it like then it would like be better explained. Like she would be like, "Yeah, I've seen ghosts all my life. They're around." But you don't really get an explanation out of it. And
well,
then
I think the
the
ghosts are meant to
It makes you
represent
think
like
it's
negative emotions and like bad feelings and stuff like that. And so it's like she says like, families being haunted and whatnot. And then that's when the ghost shows up as she's leaving work. And so that's like a self-doubt that she has. And then
but
there's the implication that her boyfriend's cheating on her. And then the ghost is just sitting in the room while they're sleeping. And like it's trying to do like a metaphorical type thing. It's just it's
yeah, I
kind of
don't think
it's
any
easy
of
to
it's
get
real.
confused by it. Like,
But I would say if it's supposed to be a metaphor, it should have been better explained that this was a metaphor. Like
yeah, I would agree
she
with
would
that.
like
Mhm.
maybe have like an internal
I agree.
dialogue, like I have self-doubts and I can see people's insecurities and I can see my own or something along those lines so people can understand, hey, these things are not real. This is all in her head. Also, the animal
Mhm.
people. The animal people are very funny,
They're like
but they're very
they're
confusing. Like why
funny.
are they there?
They're confusing. It doesn't really make sense for like something in this genre unless like it is a metaphor, but then in that case it's unclear that it is.
I think it's meant to be. It's like there's the guy at the restaurant that's eating a lot. He's represented by a pig. The two chefs in
Oh,
the back
that's
of the
true.
bakery, they're clucking around like chickens, and so it seems like there's some kind of connection that each animal has to what they're doing. I think it's meant to be a metaphor.
Yeah, it's one of those very
That's
deep
very possible.
metaphors that I didn't get because
Hmm.
maybe I'm not just cultured enough and
It isn't clear. It's
literate
like
intelligence.
it's portrayed in a way that makes it more confusing because we start out with the drawings and the introduction of the male lead, and then we flash back into the life of the girl that he's been drawing, and everything's done with these visual metaphors, and but then we spent half of an episode in a virtual art app,
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
I was
so
gonna
like
there.
things
No,
like that just like muddy the waters a lot and make
I
it
was gonna
really
get into
I
that.
agree.
The digital world
It's
thing
very
was very
abstract.
confusing, but I get where they're coming from because some manhwas have, the digital space, and it's like a very popular, like I think it's like in the some manhwas, like when you're like in social media to portray it as like a digital world. So it's like interesting and like can catch people's attention, but I think it becomes confusing having these different cuts to different worlds. Like you're in the real world, then you go to the digital
Yeah.
world, then you come back to the real world, and then you're seeing ghosts, and then you're in the ghost supernatural world, which made it like I think it's too many different perspectives all into one place that it just muddled the presentation of the story. What I think
yeah.
personally,
Hmm.
for you to understand, if like a better explanation to make the reader know that if they really wanted like these animal heads and these ghosts to be not real, it showed the same scene in two different perspectives. Like you see like how everyone else sees it, and then you see it how she sees it. So then you would like indirectly show to the reader, hey, this is not real. This is how she sees the world, and then continue on with
Yeah.
that, and the
Hmm.
reader would get this is how she sees things because you showed how the world looks like when everyone else sees it, and then you showed it with her looking at it, and it's like the same shot except with like maybe like people having animal heads and like some people
Yeah.
being haunted. Which personally I
Hmm.
think
I
it's
think
maybe like too many perspectives, seeing the haunted and the figurative. But maybe some people would dig that.
I also I think part of the issue is like again it hints at Kafka at the end, but like it doesn't do just if it stuck to just one metaphor, then it would be easy to understand what it was. But since it's doing ghosts and animal heads and the virtual social media thing, and it becomes very
Hmm.
hard to tell like what's real. And then it's also trying to introduce us to this strangely dystopian world where we have books that are banned and there's a ministry that hunts down anything that's illegal, and so there's it's almost introducing too many elements too quickly, and so it's very hard to follow.
Yeah, there this comic
Yeah.
trying to pull a Fortnite. They're trying to put a bunch of references into one thing, and it just becomes confusing. People are like not understanding what's going on.
Yeah, I
So
think
But
maybe on
yeah,
the other hand of what I was talking about, this one, like, not to be mean, again, it's just I think hopefully constructive
Hmm.
criticism. I'm not sure that this comic entirely knows what it is, even just out of it not being very scary or like
Hmm.
horror oriented as a thing. So it being like a horror and a drama, it feels a lot more like.
mundane situations. So we have a character who,
Mm,
again, there's the scene where she's blowing out the candle on the slice of cake, and then she sees, a ghost of herself, and it's like withering away into a skeleton. That's kind of implying that she's
mm,
getting older and she doesn't feel good about it. And so, like, if you read
mm,
into the metaphor, you can kind of see that it's hinting that the horror is just that she's dissatisfied with her life. She's got a kind of a deadbeat boyfriend that plays
ah,
video games all day. He's cheating on her, and she's not happy with where she's at in life. And
mm.
that's shown through ghosts, and she doesn't like the people around her. They're shown as beasts, as animals, and so I think it knows what it's trying to do. It's just not quite clear to the reader. It's confusing at a glance.
now,
Mm.
Hmm.
not to dig at the art style, because the art and expression of the characters are very well done. Like the artists know what they're doing
Hmm.
there. I just think reading the comments here, what people are saying is that maybe like the hook of the story wasn't really there. Like it took too long and the story was too confusing. in the middle, so you don't.
Yeah,
If it was there in the end, you don't really get it. Let's
I
see.
agree.
See another comment saying, I think it's supposed to be a town with this a dystopia town where humans and animals live together in harmony, where everything is geared towards the suppress suppressing controversial stuff. But, if this was supposed to be a dystopia town with humans and animals living in harmony, they should have explained that in the beginning. Like,
Yeah, they should have
No,
explained that.
I don't think it's that. That's just too literal of a like. I don't think it's meant to be taken literally.
Uh,
so anyway, it's one of those. I would say this is one of those comics that's trying to be too many things at once. And I think the author should just focus on one aspect.
mhm.
Because being
Now,
spread too thin like that, it makes the story a bit confusing.
mhm. There is one thing that I was noticing because, like mentioned before, like why does the ear on that guy look weird? And I don't want to accuse anybody of anything, but do you think it's possible that AI might have been used in some of the panels?
Now let me have a look
Just
at
that are a
it.
little wonky or strange?
There
I
were
don't know.
a
It was pretty
few
similar to how they drew other
panels
ears,
that
is the thing.
stood out to
You
me,
know,
but
Yeah,
what
so
we
I
can
wasn't really sure.
what we can
It
always
was
see,
just
we
on
just
the
have
one
to,
guy in particular. And there was like some other points where like legs were broken and like the panel of the
I
girl
think
sitting
they're
there on the
pretty good at
floor,
hiding
your
it.
one leg. Yeah, so I can't tell
oh yeah,
if it's
like right
just
here,
like
like this
they
girl
just
here sitting
they just
down.
screwed up. Yeah, I
You know,
can't tell if they
I
just
just
screwed up the
that
leg
feels
there
intentional.
or
maybe they used
yeah.
AI for some panels, because right here, like this scene of her sitting down, because there's a leg coming out from here, but she's wearing
Mhm.
some sort of like dress, and then this leg is going sideways this way.
Yeah.
I feel like
So
it makes enough sense. It's a little bit of an exaggerated pose, but I feel like a lot of the style is like too consistent to be AI. So unless they like trained it on
Yeah,
years
so
of
it's
one thing,
no,
I
there
feel like
are AIs that
it's
like
very
train on one person's specific art style. So
I,
maybe
I
like
think
yeah.
I
that
can't
like
it
that's what I'm
guarantee.
looked
saying. Like I don't want to accuse them of doing it.
I
I
can't
just
guarantee
wasn't
because
sure.
like the posing are really good. It's just one or two of them are very
Yeah.
weird. So we can't like say anything about it, but
no,
maybe the
I think
person
That
it's
feels like
just
human error or even just like style. I don't know.
That's what I was wondering, like human error, but I I did just notice that that ear just looked really strange.
the ear looks hilarious,
no,
like
Even
really
it's
compared,
weird.
yeah,
I
Yeah.
think it's just
even
the
It looks
way that
compared to
pretty
the
they
other
similar to
ears
another
that
one down the
drew.
line though.
Does it look like
yeah,
similar to another one down the
they drew
line?
his ear like that.
Does
Like
it?
most of the characters' ears do look like that. It's just that they colored it in, and so it makes it stand
Okay.
out more.
Oh yeah, that could be. Maybe they colored it wrong here. It could be
Yeah.
that kind of human error.
I think it's supposed to be the same tone as like his hands is the thing. Like his hands are kind of that color. So
Yeah, but right here they
That's
did like the
possible.
ear differently. Like they didn't have like that color inside the ear.
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't think it's
That's
like
what I said.
it
Like I
doesn't
don't want
look
to
like
make
it
any
was.
accusations of that, but I wasn't sure. No.
So anyway, art wise, the 3D assets are very apparent and they can become a bit confusing sometimes. Like right here, like on
Mhm.
this page right here, when she's going up the ladder, I did not
Yeah.
notice that until she was going up a ladder here.
Yeah. And they outlined her. The lighting
They
of the
outline.
background is different from her, so it's like it stands out quite a bit.
So I would say for this
Yeah,
artist here, they have to really learn how to do backgrounds. I think
Mhm.
that's the only thing holding this comic back, art
or just
wise,
blending them better.
or blending them better. Yeah, but usually when you
Mhm.
know how to blend the 3D assets to your art style, it's because you already know how your art style works, so you know what kind of 3D assets
Yeah,
work
and
and
you
what
already
don't.
kind of know. Yeah, you already kind of know how to do backgrounds. It's like more of a speed thing at that point.
It's just faster. It's more efficient rather than having to redraw the same scenes over and over again.
Yeah, this person like
Mhm.
this screams to me that they don't know how to do backgrounds, so they're just trying their best with the 3D
Mhm.
assets.
Yeah, I disagree.
I mean, if they
Or
if
it's
they
just like I said, like it's a speed thing.
no, because if they knew how to do backgrounds better, or they knew like it had like some semblance to it, they wouldn't break like the perspective rules in the backgrounds that they use the 3D assets
Mhm.
on. Because there's a lot of backgrounds that they like. There's just no perspective. Like the perspective of the background is in one way, and the character is drawn in a different way. Because probably they drew the character first, and then they plopped the background in, and it didn't mesh. But they were like, "I'm not gonna fix it." So, oh yeah, look. Here's another one of the year.
Definitely, definitely that.
I think this is like a general error that they
Okay, I
did
think
with the
it's just
year.
yeah, I think it's just
It's a human error. It's not a AI
Yeah.
thing. It's just a person
yeah,
I think
thing.
I would say pretty conclusively that I'm not like that I
yeah.
wouldn't accuse this at all of being AIs. I feel like there's a lot of details that are way too consistent. Like there's this thing
No,
where
I agree. I
I
agree.
was I was
It's
arguing
just
with this
I've
one
gotten
AI
so
critic who was like,
paranoid.
yeah. I was thinking like there's this one thing where I was arguing with some AI prick and he like said like, "Oh, I can do your stuff better than you." And it got like literally zero of the details of my like character is the thing. He was like, "It's so much better." And you can really just tell that they have no taste at all is the thing. But it's like they're
Yeah.
wearing like a hoodie instead of like a jean jacket and it like they were like Caucasian instead of like pale white and they had like sunglasses instead of like eye makeup and stuff. Um as like these people genuinely have like no sense of that as a thing. So in terms of like consistency and like repeating stuff, like they would not have AI would not have gotten the pattern on her jacket unless it was like very specifically trained to do just that
Yeah.
and do it
So
well
Yeah.
enough to mask almost all of it.
yeah, I would
Yeah.
say final verdict. No AI here. It's just human error, and
Okay, that's
we were dumb. We were dumb to think
Yeah.
of
It's
it.
just a
that's
little
So
bit
good.
of stylization, you know?
it's a
Yeah.
weird stylization. But I would that they do say here, yeah, it's either they don't know or they don't care with the perspective. That's why they have the perspective
Mhm.
breaks. So, all right, final
Yeah.
verdict in the story. I unfortunately have to say that the story here didn't really grip me. I think
Mhm.
it needed to be like tighten it up a little bit more, like refine it a little bit to
Mhm.
like in a specific direction. It was just
Mhm.
too many things at once, and it
I,
just a little bit confusing. What about you guys?
I feel like I was like at least a little bit interested in stuff that was going on in each individual uh chapter, but I'm not entirely sure how a lot of the things relate is the thing. So like the social media thing, like that was entirely dropped and then the guy that she works with, the young master or whatever, like he was in the first scene and the last scene and nothing else
Yeah,
is the thing. So I
I
don't know
said
where it
that
picks up. Yeah.
that's why I said like they're trying to do too many things at
Mhm.
once, which kind of made the story a
Yeah.
bit confusing.
I
But
Well,
think the story definitely has potential. Like
like the beginning of it is
if
very gripping. If they just kept on
mhm.
that like story arc with why the guy what the guy did to this girl for him to like be regretting it and like seeing her in visions, maybe
Mhm.
this would have been a bit better. But the way that it's right now, it's a little bit meh.
Also, if the artist for this story ends up watching this, apologize for even mentioning the AI thing.
I mean, they saw us that we were debating maybe not, and it's like then it's definitely not.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
watch till the end if you're the artist.
yeah, um I honestly this one is very interesting to me. I think it has my attention because while it is a little confusing when you first read it, the more I think about it, the more it kind of makes sense to me. And so it's like every scene is like it's building this sense of character. It's showing the situation that's he's in, other than the first episode that kind of sets the stage for like where it's going to go. It hints that Grave, being
Mhm.
the guy, he did something horrible to her. That's implied through her picture yelling at him. And so we don't know what that thing is yet, but that's being built up to. And yeah, Grave isn't in the second episode, but the staff or his family come in to collect that cake. And then we start to kind of see the world through the perspective of our main character. And yeah, I don't like the social media section. I felt like it went on too long and it was a little confusing. But I think what it was supposed to show was just how she can't even really fit in the art world. And so it's like it shows what art is like in the world that she lives in and how the way that she does art is not popular. She ends up being ostracized for voicing pretty reasonable opinions. And then she gets banned from the platform again. And then the scene with amoeba tag, I mean, it's a pretty obvious metaphor. If you know how the game works, it's, once you tag someone, they're also it. And then everybody tags each other until there's nobody left that's being chased. And so she's the last one in the scene. That's kind of showing like society is closing in on her. She's like being forced to conform. They're saying, come play with us, be one of us. And she doesn't want to do it. And, she's reading banned literature. She's hanging out in places she's not supposed to be. And, that's immediately followed up with a scene of her mother telling her how, her art's not successful, and she's kind of asking her how her life is going. And again, there's the scene with the cake and the aging and whatnot. So like, there's a lot going on here metaphorically, and I think it's doing a lot to really build up an interesting view of a character who is just not satisfied with where she's at in life. And then we got that initial hook in the first episode of how somehow this grave guy is going to uh, corrupt her in some way. We don't know, like if he's killing her or if he's changing her. We don't know, but I think it should get to the point probably a little faster just for the sake of the contest. But I think I don't know if I would recommend it, but I really want to see where it goes.
So
I think
TLDR, this
Yeah.
is a big brain comic. You need a big brain to understand it, and we're all like just pea brain individuals here, not getting it.
Yeah, I'm at the point where it's like where it is right now, I can't see myself recommending it to someone, but it's definitely something I'd want to keep an eye on and just see where it goes from here, because I am interested to see like exactly what you were saying.
You're willing to
like,
give
everything
it
that's
a
going on and
chance.
understanding that I'm willing to give it a chance, but I'm not sure if I can like confidently
it's
recommend
hard
this
to
to
judge it
somebody with
from
just
these
the 3
3
chapters,
episodes.
Yeah, it's hard. Like,
which
there's not
really
enough story
stinks.
here for us to judge it. And usually,
Yeah.
the big thing about I'd say about webtoons is that you have to have a solid premise for a story in the first three chapters of your story, because
Mhm.
that's where
Yeah.
webtoons usually recommends, hey, do you want to keep reading it or do you want to
You
drop
wanna
it?
keep
And a lot of
reading, yeah.
people, if the story is not good enough in the first three, they just drop it.
Yeah,
So
I don't think this is the type of story that will do very well on Webtoon just because of the type of platform it is. But I do personally, I like the way they use metaphor. I think it's kind of fun that if you think about each scene, there's layers to it. There's more going on there. But Webtoon usually is like people prefer stuff to be kind of surface level and
yeah,
just like very straightforward and
I mean,
obvious.
I enjoy surface level
I'm
thing.
definitely glad you're here to
I'm a peanut
notice all that
smooth brain
stuff because I wouldn't
individual.
have.
Yeah, we're all peanut brain, smooth brain individuals.
Peanut
Like all these
brains.
metaphors just like
Oh,
fly
peanut
over our
brains from
heads.
peanut gallery.
Yeah, we're all a bunch of peanuts here. All these metaphors just like flying over our heads like fastballs. Like none
Except
of
for
us caught
Sleepy,
it.
who caught all the metaphors.
Only the big brain sleep paralysis demon caught it here.
Mhm.
So great job that you were here to catch all these weird metaphors for us. So so that's the final verdict.
Yeah, it really stinks though that that it is a contest entry to me though, because all the contest entries are locked right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Sleeper D,
And I just
most of us would not recommend because we're all peanut brains. But if you're big brain, you're really gonna love it.
if you're big brain,
Well, like I said,
if you're
I
big brain,
think
I think you'll like this.
I think it establishes a really good like sense of theme, like the type of storytelling. But as I said, I don't think I even would recommend it currently because it's just based
It's
off
not
of these
enough.
3 episodes. It's just we don't really know where it's going yet, and so I think it does a good job with its atmosphere, but it's a little hard to follow on a first read.
All right, now it is my turn. And the comic
Yes.
that I chose today is going to be Light Within Shadow. And the reason that I chose that one is basically because I really like the thumbnail. I saw fire, I saw a person in fire and was like, ooh, fried chicken. Me like it.
Mm.
Fried chicken.
I'll be back in a minute.
Alrighty
What's
then.
this
Okay.
file?
Let's see if I can find it. Here it is.
This one, okay. Oh, 71
Okay.
episodes.
Now let me change it here to read it. There we go.
Oh, there's a lot. Is this not a contest entry?
I guess
Or is
not,
this
yeah.
just a regular
But we're
contest
still
entry?
since this is we're still gonna read only the first three, because that's
Okay.
as long as my little peanut brain can allow.
Fair.
All right. Lyssandra's life is a Lyssandra's life is pretty great. She lives in a peaceful town, protected from the monsters infested woods by a team of Varens, fighters who wield power of the elements. All right, that explains what that is. Except something still plagues Lysandra. Her childhood memories are gone, and her quest to regain them pits her against old gods, plunging her friends into more peril than she could ever have dreamed of possible. Oh, it's currently on hiatus. So
Mm-hmm.
let's see how this one's gonna
They have an
go.
obligatory hot spring episode.
They do?
We start with that one.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
Intermission number 3, obligatory hot spring episode is what it says. I just thought I'd
Oh
say
wait,
that 'cause it's
before
funny.
we start, let me just have a look at the chat real quick before I forget.
Yep.
All right, let's start with the old Twitcheroo. They were talking about the gestures are pretty for the previous one. Gestures are pretty nice, yeah.
Sorry about that. I'm back.
Team
You're good.
Slacker. Direction of the story
Yep.
isn't clear enough for the first 3 episodes, like we said. The hook of the story might be too far into the episodes. It's either they don't know
True.
or they don't care about perspective. To be honest, the nerve wracking to risk not having enough going on in the first episode to hook people. Yeah, it is nerve wracking
Yeah.
to not have enough to get people in the first 3 episodes. Because then it's like, oh, but I have more story to tell, and people are just gone.
Oh,
Right.
the author for the one you picked is for Light and Shadow is in the chat.
Let's see. Hope
They
the
said, "Oh
pandemic.
snap, that's me.
Oh yeah.
Can I say that action starts on page 4? LOL."
Oh, so you're not gonna like us on this one then. You're gonna have a bad
Oh no.
time. All right, let us begin. Light within shadow. All right, at least the logo for it's really good. I really like the lettering.
Nice logo.
Living in a house, looking outside. Lizzie.
Lizzie.
Lysandra.
Lysandra. Thinking about the forest again, dearie?
Sorry. Yeah.
Here's
It's
the card.
just I'm tired of waiting for answers is all.
I'm sorry, but remember that Mrs. Harland and Miss Sirocco are doing their best.
I know. I really appreciate them searching the forest over the years. It'd just be nice to know why Lucy and I were abandoned.
It's lucky.
Oh, Lucky. Yeah, Lucky and I were abandoned. You think Mr. Hand, Miss S will let wait, Mr. Hand Mr. Hand and Miss
Mr.
S.
A?
Mrs. H.
Oh, Mrs. H.
Oh,
Oh,
and Miss
I
S.
was like Mr.
Oh.
Sand.
Mr. Hand.
Mrs. Mr. H and Miss S will let me tag along Next time they go to the forest next time they go to the forest. This is you, Lucy. You there?
Oh, sorry. Ah! My things are all over the place. I don't think that's a good idea.
Okay, but hear me out. I'm not a kid anymore, and I haven't had a night of terror in years now. Sure, there are rumors about the forest illusion showing your worst fears, but I'm sure I can manage now. Right? You there?
It's true, you're grown now. I'll see what I can do for you.
Thanks, Mom. You still there,
By the
Lucy?
way, dearie, what time are you supposed to help Miss Sirocco?
I'm late!
He doesn't have shoes.
He doesn't need shoes. Watch it! Sorry! Toss. Snoot again. How about you be this guy?
Okay, I figure this guy's kind of fancy. I'm gonna try to do a fancy voice. Whoa now. What's the rush, Liz?
I'm late to Siroko's class.
Ooh, you in trouble.
Zach! Tap tap.
Cool. Now you can go.
Thanks. What are you doing? Stop being dumb. He's taken. Move along. Come on, legs, move. See you later. Say hi to Claire for me.
Arland! Why is your uniform so messy again?
Come on, loosen up.
You've got to follow the rules, Harland.
See, this is why you have no friends.
We have to be prepared for emergencies.
Like anything bad ever happens here.
I wonder if they all don't wear shoes. Let me look if they show like
I
their
just
feet
want to
before.
see so bad.
That makes me worried about the
No,
implications.
They're ready for
Yeah,
emergency. No shoes.
He was just getting away.
They just slow you down. All right. Huff. Step.
This guy has shoes.
Run. This guy has shoes. That's why he's so slow. Alrighty then, let's continue on to the second one. Alright, light and shadow. Reading. Sorry I'm late, Miss Oroko.
It's alright, I was just wrapping up.
Ahem.
Several millennia ago, a rift between the spirit world and the mortal realm was torn asunder. In what is now known as Nirago Valley. From this rift, our world of Varaluz endured its darkest time, the War of Spirits. The Omok, the dark gods of the spirit world, invaded Varaluz with intent to rule over it. Varans, humans blessed with uncanny vitality and the powers of nature, saved humanity from the onslaught. However, as the war dragged on, the strength of the Varans weakened through attrition. Near the war's end, the gods of Varaluz send two champions to strike down Omok. With the champion's strength, the Omok were destroyed, and humanity was finally victorious.
The darkest century.
Darkest century. All right, class. We'll end this lesson at Summer's Shrine. Line up behind Lysandra, please. Thank you for accompanying me on this trip.
Happy to help.
Just keep an eye on Johnny for me, okay?
Uh, see, who said, yeah, this
Oh,
you.
okay, that's who it is. I'm excited for this field lesson. Our village hosting the Gods Orb this year is a great learning opportunity.
The God's Orb.
Mm. It took me 3 months to convince that stuffy captain to an uncovered viewing. Seriously, don't let Johnny out of your sight. It feels like I have Zachary in my class again.
Snoodigan, you there?
It's no shoes again.
It's no shoes, man.
Snoodigan?
Hey there.
Make a funny face again.
Take me earthboarding.
Hi, Zach.
Maybe later, kiddos.
Zachary, we're in the middle of a field trip.
I know. I was told to escort the class.
I thought Stephen was our escort.
Stephen got a bit tied up.
Oh, so they do wear shoes. It's only
It's only him.
I think
only
he's
him.
he's supposed to be like the lazy sort of layabout
He's
one.
special.
So.
Oh, he's special because if you're lazy, you wear no shoes. He's wearing things above his feet, so his sole purposely on the ground.
It's his sole purpose.
It's his sole purpose.
I think
Sorry,
maybe
that was bad.
like I think it might be that he like doesn't wear them just because I don't know they're uncomfortable or
maybe he's like the hippie
misplaced
guy
them,
that's like,
something
I need
that.
to feel the Earth's vibrations, man.
Yeah, do that.
That way he can fight back. He feels it like Toph from
Yeah,
Avatar.
from Avatar.
Ugh.
Ugh. Snoot again. It is you.
Oh, sorry. So Liz, you got plans after this?
Aren't you going on a date with Claire today?
She canceled on me. Said she was busy. I think I figured out a way to explore the forest without getting lost.
Wait, really?
Don't you dare go into the forest. Travelers have gone missing already. It's not a place for thrill seeking.
Hey, I'm trying to help Liz too.
Let your mother and I handle it. We're more capable of dealing with the forest.
So, field trip. Yay! Doobly-doo, doobly-doo.
Ooh, something. Ooh,
Ooh, ominous people
spooky.
that are gone. Ooh.
Mm.
Alrighty then. Chapter 3. Go.
Nothing except the fog again. Who the...
Crack.
Wait, this is... not a man.
Crack, crack, crack.
Halt!
We just say that she has the
That's her
smoker voice.
salad.
The smoker voice.
She's a smoker, yeah.
I thought it was the guy that was sneaking around in the first episode. I wanted to give him that voice.
Yeah.
You know, how about you be both of them then? One of them just a smoker and
No.
one just a deeper voicer.
Heck
Oh,
yeah.
I can try. Okay, state your business. I mean you no harm. Are you from Whitewood Village? Yes, I'm the village captain. That's a Badar uniform, correct? Yes, I'm one of the representatives. Your village is in danger.
Ooh, a church. Good afternoon, Sirocco.
Good afternoon, Captain.
Hey, Gallus, how's it hanging?
Hello, Harlan. As we agreed, you have 15 minutes.
Yes, I remember.
The orb.
The orb. Class, this is the god's orb.
It's the Dragon Balls.
It is said after the two champions slew Omok.
It's said after
Thank
the.
you. The gods gifted humanity with the orb. The
Mm.
orb. Since then, it's become a symbol of peace and goodwill in Verilas. A promise that the mortal realm would be protected by the gods. However, there are times something from the spirit world slips through in search of the orb. We don't know exactly why the orb is sought after, but to ensure its safekeeping. I'm starting to suspect all these guys. 4 powerful Varans called the Armistice Guards always accompany the orb.
The orb.
The orb. The orb is special.
The orb. You know, this is reminding me of. I don't know if you guys. You know what? You guys ever watched Charlie the Unicorn? Like the first episode,
Yes.
like when they're talking about the door. It's like the door. Seeing
Orb.
go see life at the doors can see into your mind.
Charlie the Unicorn was
Door.
so weird.
Can see into your soul. That's what it just reminded me of the people talking about the orb.
The orb.
All right, kids, very happy. What
I do not recognize that. Usurper. It says usurper. Wretch.
What the? Sirocco.
Sirocco.
Yeah, you be this person then.
Okay. Oliver will be here shortly, and he apologized for being late. That's all right. Thank you for coming. Class, this is Ira, one of our village representatives. Hey, you kids. Guess what? Our guests from Bedar Desert are here early. I think it's the same person, but I'm not sure.
This is a different person. Hello. Stare.
His
This is still the
Let's
teacher.
continue. The orb is housed in a shrine for 1 year. Oh, hi. Sure.
This is still the teacher talking.
Then the orb is moved to a new shrine by the Armistice Guards in 4 reps, 2 each from the old and new shrines. Traveling together in large groups is both for safety and
Where's your partner? The captain at the village garrison said wanted to speak with my partner. He'll be along shortly. Given that Miss Harold is scouting the forest today, I doubt she corroborate. Corroborate.
I think is what the word they meant to
Probably.
to say. Corroborate.
Corroborate your story. Where is your partner? Well then, we'll end it
All
here.
right, that's the end of the third chapter.
Now we'll begin with
Yeah.
our thoughts and critiques.
I'm
I
gonna
like the
say
pace.
real quick. Oh, yeah, I like that. I clicked on the most recent chapter and I saw that their art has improved quite a lot, and I think it looks really, really good.
Yeah, one of the things about
So,
these long standing chapter
yeah,
comics is that if you see the beginning and the end, you see the general improvement of the person, which is really
yeah. So
cool.
I clicked on 57,
Let me look at it.
and
Have a look real
there's
quick.
some cool looking action like right at the beginning.
Oh yeah,
So
art
I
is
think it's
like
definitely improved quite
it
a
does
bit.
improve quite a lot. That's good too.
Yeah. Huh?
That is cool.
So
Wow.
in these like old comics, I don't think it's like it doesn't really help speaking about the art style because the art style does change a lot,
Yeah,
and you can't
exactly.
really say anything to improve in the beginning, other than to
Right.
redo it. But then if you redo it,
So,
you're not continuing with the story, so it doesn't really help you with
Wow,
that.
it's got a lot of views.
exactly. So I just wanted to point that out right away that their art has improved
hmm
quite a bit.
So good job on the creator for that. Now,
Mm-hmm.
story-wise, I think they did a very good job in introducing the story because they do introduce very quickly that that the main character has their memory stolen. I mean, amnesia,
Mm-hmm.
and they're trying to get it back, and that's what their friends are trying to do. And they do a little bit of world building, and they're able to sneak that into the story without being felt forced. It's not like a big
Mm-hmm.
as I call it, like the Star Wars scroll, the initial scroll
Yeah.
showing just like in the beginning, the thing and
In the beginning.
the thing happened with the stuff and going on, and the thing and the people were having trouble, but then the thing happened which helped them out of the trouble and introducing of the MacGuffin of the story here. So they were able to
Yeah, they do have a.
introduce the world of the story very well, and it wasn't really long. It didn't feel forced, so
Mhm.
that's greatly appreciated.
I think presenting it as like a class field trip was a really smart choice because it feels like you're just following these characters and they're just regular daily life, then suddenly getting thrust into like the Star Wars scroll, like you said.
Yeah, no, because it makes sense
Yeah,
for
I read
kids
this.
not to know history, so you have to tell them.
Exactly.
I heard this thing recently about like the storytelling sort of tip called maid and butlering is the concept. Like not
Mhm.
maid and butlering, maid and butlering, and it's like an example of these two things where like a maid and a butler are talking to each other, and one is just them giving each other the news, and then the next is like talking and sneaking in the news is a thing. And I feel like this is a good
Mhm.
example of the second as a thing. So the
Mhm.
first one is basically the first example is basically just they're telling the audience as a thing versus telling each other. You know what I mean? So,
Mhm.
and I feel like this was a good example of telling each other in a way that felt natural and in character, and just a good spot to kind of drop the reader into. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, because
Yeah, yes
Mhm.
and no. I again, I mean, this is 3 years old at this point, but when
Yeah,
you
it's
have
old. Definitely like
a
an early work.
when you have a classroom scene where like the teacher is explaining
Mhm.
everything, if she's
Mhm.
just laying it all out like she's reading it from an encyclopedia, that is essentially just talking
Mhm.
directly to the audience. And so, whereas maid and butlering would
Exactly.
be if the students were asking questions and then getting responses and they were having a conversation. But this is just
Mhm.
kind of
Yeah,
the teacher is just
it's
playing
kind of
the
telling.
role of the opening scroll, and so
Yeah.
it's better than just having an opening
Yeah,
exposition scroll,
that's what I was
but it's
saying. I think
still
it's like
kind of
just a smart
Yeah.
and a better presentation, but it's not perfect, like you're saying. Yeah.
no, I do get it. Like the opening scrolls are tedious, but I think they were able to sneak it in there in the creative way, is what I'm saying.
Mhm.
I
It's not
think
just
Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
saying it feels natural in the story. Like it doesn't feel like it breaks it up too much. Is what I'm saying. Yeah.
And also, it's not.
Yeah.
It
I
doesn't
think
take the entire chapter, which most of
Yeah.
these scrolls are just like
Yeah.
most of the chapter. Just it just keeps going and going and going. You're
it
like,
Yeah.
does
when is the
carry
story gonna
into the
start?
field trip, though. It carries into the next episode,
Mhm.
and so it's kind of like broken up a little bit,
Yeah.
which is better than having it all in one go. But I think usually,
Mhm.
and again, it's kind of hard to say because like with this being so old by this point. I mean, the creator probably has already learned a lot of these lessons, but usually with an action series, especially, you want to start with an action sequence, and then you can sneak in those expositional dumps to kind of explain what the viewer already saw. And so, like, you want to set that dramatic, like, action tone right away, just to kind of show like the promise of what the series is going to do later, and show like what types of action you're going to get in this thing and why you should keep reading it. And so that's just something like, again, depending on the format, it's less important. But with Webtoon, they always look for that first 3 episodes.
Oh yeah, that
So
is true. So a thing like a
That's
rule of
true.
thumb that I usually do for like my story in particular is that I make the reader question it first, like make something happen that makes the reader like go, wait, why is this happening? Oh, what's going on? And then give an explanation to it. I don't like explaining things first and then like, all right, now that I give the explanation, now I can do whatever I want with the story. Which is like, I think it's a better way because like if you give an explanation after the reader questions, like asks for it, it doesn't really feel forced because they really wanted to know that, instead of doing the inverse where you're like slowing the story down because you need to explain this first, because basically you're giving the reader homework because they're gonna have to remember it for later.
yeah,
And on that note, this is also a personal pet peeve of mine, is that this story has a lot of fictional names that makes the reading sound silly. For me, like personally, like when usually I write these like, because when they were giving like the history of the world, they have like and I can't even remember the names anymore. They have like the gods and the spirit people, and they're all different names, and it sounds really silly if you're reading it out loud.
That's fair. Yeah.
Personally, for stories like this, I try to use the minimum amount of like quote unquote made up names. I can't really say it's made up because I'm not cultured enough. Maybe it's like some the names in like a different like language or something. But for me, it sounds made up.
Yeah.
For me, it's just a word salad. Like let's open up here so I can.
fantasy names.
The fancy names are not for me.
Yeah, I think it's okay to have a lot of those, but you don't want to introduce them too quickly. So like if you just have a wall of like fantasy names, it becomes very difficult to follow because people haven't like got latched onto those yet. And so it's like you have to slowly build up that definition in the reader's mind, and
like they're
give them
already
time.
Yeah.
At the very least, they like explained what each name is. Like you are in Nirago Valley with 2 eyes, and then they're talking about the Varalus and the darkness in the world, the war of the spirits. You're like, all right, the spirits. Then the Ohamak, which is like, what are those? It's like dark gods, but like you're not gonna remember those what they are.
I think like the thing is, I like it and it makes it feel like unique and stuff. Like if they just called them the dark gods or whatever, like I've heard it before as the thing. So I like appreciate the fantasy stuff, but at the same time, I didn't remember it until you just said it as a thing. So it is like a lot at once. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so I think
Yeah.
personally, like in story wise, you shouldn't really throw so many made up names at a reader at once because it sounds silly. It sounds made up. Like imagine if you're telling a story, it's like the Ohamark, and you take out the explanations first. The Ohamarks invaded the Varlus, which ended to rule it, but then the Varus, blessed with the vitality of nature, save humanity from the onslaught.
Star Wars.
And you just see
For
how
Star Wars, they were just saying a bunch of nonsense in that first movie.
do you see what I mean? Like it just sounds silly saying these names all at once because you don't know what they mean. They just sound. It's a silly thing. It's a little pet peeve of mine. Don't throw so many fictional names at once at a reader because they're not gonna follow. They're not latched onto these names yet, and it just sounds silly in the end of it. But that's a minor peeve in storytelling for me, at least in the storytelling aspect. All right, let me just see the chat here real quick. On Twitch, they say fantasy names are not dyslexic proof. So it is definitely an added issue for some readers. So you don't want to make you.
That's true.
That is very true, and everyone nowadays is like a little bit dyslexic. Everyone is a little bit dyslexic. Everyone has a little bit of ADHD. Everyone is a little anxious. So we're in the generation of mental issues. So you gotta make your stories accordingly to that. Also, the art is very charming. Yes, I would agree. There is a lot of personality in the art. And then let us.
Somebody said, "I hope praying for mine will be read today." I think
Alright, so
Nachal. Oh, what was yours, Nachal?
yeah, Nachal, what was yours? Because now we've gotten over all the stories that we picked to read, but there is one more story
Today,
for
yeah.
us to read, and this one is going to be purely by chance. So pray to the chance
Oh
gods.
boy.
Oh, I didn't know about this.
Oh yeah, this is a
This will be
new thing we're
interesting.
doing.
We're doing a wheel?
We're doing a wheel, baby.
Oh boy.
Wheel!
Wheel time. So readers, pray to the chance gods that yours comes down. So spin, spin, spin.
Wandering Portraits. We have not read yours yet, so maybe you'll get lucky.
Oh, I've reviewed that one. That's good.
Oh, you have?
Oh, we got
Cool.
Swallow
Yeah.
again.
I'll have to check
We
that
we
out
we
then.
just read this one, so we gotta go with another one.
Oh, did we want to finish up on the fire light within shadow? Sorry.
Which
No,
one?
we already read. We read
I
our
think we
obligatory
read
3
3
chapters.
Yeah, but like we didn't say if we recommend it or not.
Oh yeah, right.
I feel like we
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
really
Yeah,
close out our discussion.
I would recommend it because I saw that
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, I recommend it.
the story is charming
I
enough
saw
to
how the art
recommend it.
improved towards the end. I agree.
No, the story is charming enough to recommend it. You know, the little pet peeves are minor. They won't really hinder with the storytelling. So I would definitely
Mhm.
recommend it. What about you guys?
I think it's worth giving more
Yeah,
of a
I'll probably
shot.
go and read it.
Especially, after taking a peek towards the last chapter and seeing like that art looks really, really good, and so I'm interested to see like how the story writing improves along with the art.
Yeah.
So
Right, what are the chances that we get another story that we already read today? So spin, spin, spin. Let's see it.
it'd be that high, right?
It's gonna be romance.
The Cloud
Don't
Girls.
chew my wires. The Cloud Girls?
Yep. Let's see what that one is going to be.
Okay.
And also, since this is random, also the main reader is going to be random. So let's see who's it going to be.
Oh no.
Let's
Stream
see,
failed
there's
to start.
a contest
that's not
version
good.
and a canvas version.
Sheepity. You are a main reader for this one.
Okay, do we want to do? There's a contest version. And well, I guess it doesn't matter. If we're
This is
only
the
doing 3
contest version.
episodes. Okay.
Yeah.
Because that just seems fair since, you know, this
Which one is the contest version now?
On
probably the one
right
with 3
side.
This one?
chapters. With 3 to probably the one with 3
It's
to
got
5
7.
chapters.
It has 7.
7, yeah.
Yeah, because they entered comedy, so they do minimum 6.
I thought it was minimum 5 for comedy.
It was 6.
6.
Well, I was in a comedy, so I don't know. All right, let's go. The Cloud Girls.
Prepare for an adventure filled with aliens, vampires, and magical bunnies. Meet June Santiago, a spunky, geeky middle schooler who is having a fantastic summer break reading comics, playing video games, and tending to her giant flying rabbits. Out of all the things
Wait,
she
what?
loves to do, her favorite pastime is hanging out with her 2 best pals, a grumpy goth vampire named Simone and a free-spirited hippie named Clover. Little do she and her friends know, they're in for the adventure of a lifetime.
You know, Sleepity being the main character here is going to be hilarious.
Oh goodness! What
I
have
agree.
done? How should I just?
No, you will remain as you are. It's gonna be great.
I
The
can adapt.
bunnies with wings. There's one with an eye patch. And wait. There's a gray one in the background with an eye patch, a blue eye, and it's eating grass. Is
I'm just
this
gonna go as high
could
as
this
I can.
possibly be a reference to Dimitri from Fire Emblem by any chance?
Oh, another Fire Emblem fangirl. You know,
Hey,
if I had a nickel
yeah,
for
I'll admit it.
for an artist, for a female artist I met on the internet that is just a fan of Fire Emblem, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's
It's not
weird
a
that it
lot.
happened, Jice.
That's pretty funny. Yeah, I used to be pretty active in the Fire Emblem community.
Why am I not surprised?
More like a man.
Ahem. Garlic Man is the absolute coolest superhero ever. When I grow up, we'll get married. And we'll become an unstoppable superhero duo.
We interrupt your unrealistic fantasies to bring you breaking news.
What the heck?
Just in this, just just in, sightings
in.
of sighting of an imposter gallivanting
Elephant.
gallivanting around our
Gallivanting.
peaceful world of clouds disguised as a normal people have been reported.
Not the
They-
lizard people, huh?
Yeah, they may look sound, but like your average Joe, but underneath they are aliens from the closest planet, Reptune. Oh my God, it's reptilians.
I thought you misread Neptune. But no, Reptune.
Reptune. Be
That sounds
warned. Reptunians are known for gobbling up humans. This photo's
Thumbs down.
hilarious. And thumbs down.
That's very funny. Thumbs down.
But don't think you're safe, mermaids, vampires, fairies, centaurs, and everyone else. These aliens will gobble up anyone and everyone who has a humanoid form. Oh, and bugs. They love bugs too.
Mom, come here.
How about
What's
you?
wrong, June? Did you spot another giant fox outside?
No, aliens are taking over.
This is it. This is it. We're all gonna die.
This is another hoax, Miha. Trust me. Plus, Reptune is under leadership by King Blorp, who is kind and just. And they wouldn't try to take over the cloud even if they wanted to. When they were under a corrupt leader over 100 years ago, Queen Eliza conquered them with the Heron Crystal.
Corrupt with a U. This only solidifies my solid idea that artists can't write. I can't write.
Stop wiggling.
Yeah.
It's such a nice day out, but you shouldn't be cooped up inside.
Can I just finish reading this one part?
You
I'm
can read it
struggling.
later. Go, yeah. Go on and hang out with your friends.
Bye, guys. I'll just walk to Simone so you can rest up, you lazy, chonky boy.
Looking into different doors.
Fruits, fruits, fruits.
Fruits, fruits, fruits.
Life insurance.
Divined and tail off. Hark Harold's way. What? Who's running
You know,
the
life,
stand for Hark Harold's
life
hair?
insurance being sold by a
Politically
ghost
accurate.
is hilarious.
That is
It's
pretty
a
good. Stop
goddamn
chewing on my...
alphonym from the
my
Bible.
headphones.
Man, this comic just has all the comedy.
The Shadow Emporium.
That's weird. Why is there a bag of crickets in Simone's neighbor's yard? Unless...
Can I be heard?
All right, go ahead.
Go for
Okay.
it.
Hello, June. Simone and Clover are upstairs in the apartment.
Thanks, Mrs. Kingsley. Hi, Agnes. Make any cool scientific discoveries lately?
Can't. Conversed. Must focus.
Clover, Simone, I have something super, super important to tell you.
Pipe down, June. We're trying to relax.
Simone, I'm serious. Look what I found in your neighbor's yard.
Gross. Put that outside and come watch a movie with us. It's called Frog Mage Do Toilet Tea. It's foreign film that.
Fromage de toilette.
Well, I'm not French,
Fromage.
so I can't say things.
Yeah. No, you're
Fromage
good.
de toilette.
I'm just like,
It's a foreign film that I think you'll like.
You guys aren't listening. Do you know what this means?
I think it means cheese the toilet. Yeah, see, I also thought fromage was cheese.
It means your neighbors are reptunans, like from the emergency broadcast. They'll eat us for dinner. Those crickets were just the appetizers.
The emergency broadcast was bogus anyway. You need to stop listening to the man, June.
The bugs were probably meant for a pet lizard or something. Or a frog.
That's crazy talk. You seriously think a reptunan would have a pet lizard or frog?
Let's go out to the big city. I'll take your mind off things. Plus, being a shut inside on a nice day is such a drag.
You sound like my mom, but fine. Let's go to Eminence. Just let me grab Gus first. He needs to exercise.
Oh,
This comic
This
is
is
very
good.
charming.
well, okay.
It's charming. It's
We made
very
it.
silly.
I really dig the
There's 2
silliness.
more chapters to read.
Just 2 more, guys.
They're flying on a.
Whee! And the city is in the sky. That is adorable.
Yeah.
Fly around and
I
get
think you
some more
should-
exercise while we're...
What?
I think you just read it in your regular voice. I think if you.
Yeah, don't
Oh,
kill
boy,
yourself,
no,
man.
I mean-
You're probably gonna destroy your vocal
Yeah.
cords this way.
No, this is I have experience. We could try the
All right, then
switch.
go
Let's
for
see.
it.
Fly around and get some more exercise while we're inside, okay, chonky buddy?
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
I wish our town had an arcade.
Everything in Eminence is better.
Meh. UFO photo booth. Volcano Death 2. Kart race. Orders?
Are you kidding? You're the one out of us who has a job.
You help your mom on the ranch.
I get an allowance for that. You make, what, $10 an hour at the Shadow Emporium?
Yeah, but I spent it all in this pet store on rats, which are basically juice boxes for his vamps.
This is ridiculous. Clover, get a load of this. Simone wants us to give her money. Clover?
Hmm?
Totally human. Warm-blooded.
Cute.
Cute boy.
This is totally human. Covered in skin. I think the hat is the hat and the sunglasses with the nose is killing me.
They seem legit.
What's your name, cutie? Wait, can I probably guess it? Is it Zane?
I don't know. Is that a kind of name a normal human would have?
Yeah, dude, I guess.
Then yes, I am Zane, a normal cute boy. I like taxes and canned food.
Name's Clover Christina Condre, but you can call me Clover.
Snoodigan, how about you be this one?
Her to hang out with you. It will help you learn more about humans. You can report what you find to us.
Do you want to come to my cottage and eat bugs and then make sculptures out of parts that we don't eat? Smack.
Noli, I mean Zane. That is not how normal children behave. Ask her if she wants to play board games or something like that.
Do you want to play boring games?
Absolutely! You can come to my house. I have loads of board games we can play. And I can show you my collection of trees, and we can bake cupcakes. If you want to make sculptures out of bug parts, we can do that too, as long as they're ethically sourced. I'm very artistic. Oh.
Great! It is a normal human date.
You said date, OMG.
There's something off about that guy.
Clover could do so much better than that dork. I love that they didn't. It's not obvious to them.
That's so funny.
It's hilarious. I very much vibe with this vibe of this comic.
Do you guys
The
want to come back here
wall-eyed,
to
hard-eyed.
All right, Shibadi, this is you.
yeah. Do you guys want to come back here to what the heck?
Bah, rumph.
Someone's trying to steal our bunny.
Come on. See,
Should I tab in?
how about you be this one, Snoot again?
Okay. Come on, you harebrained hare. Stop being so difficult. Bah, rumph.
Gus!
Gus!
Move aside, girls. That creep will steal Gus over his dead body. Sharingan sound. You will give us the you'll give the rabbit to us.
I say, little vampire girl, your fancy mind tricks don't work on me.
Grab and swish. Ding. Beep, beep, beep. Well, that was a thing that just happened. I can't believe my hypnosis didn't work on him.
Thanks for trying at least. We got Gus back, and that's what matters.
These hands have committed violence.
All right. Right. And this is where we're gonna end this one for today. Now
That's pretty silly.
we will commence with our thoughts and opinions.
I think it's interestingly like dreamlike. Like it has such a weird like fairy tale-ish nature to it. That's just like you know, like the city on the island especially just has this like interesting feeling to it. Of like feeling like sort of like a kid's drawing of like a fantasy world. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I would say that the story, like art-wise, the story is fun to look at, but I think like coloring-wise, maybe like I think the story is too childlike in coloring. Like there's too many saturated colors, so it makes it sometimes difficult to follow what the art's, what's going on with the art, especially in like those big background scenes. But it's not bad like drawn wise, like, but I think like the coloring wise maybe it could be done a little bit better. What about you? What do you guys think?
I don't know. I feel like it's kind of going for that like children's cartoon tone. So like the really
Yeah.
Yeah, it
saturated
definitely
colors kind
is.
of complement that.
No, but even in the
And
children's
even with its like
cartoons,
comedy and like slapstickiness.
no, the slapstickiness is great. I'm just saying like even like in the children's cartoons, they do know usually in back when they have like background like that are complex, they dull the color a little bit so that the characters pop out a little bit more.
Yeah,
And
I
in
would
this
agree.
story, like the backgrounds of it, they're very saturated. So sometimes when you're looking at it, like for this is a great example right
Yeah,
here.
that
Like the
yeah.
character gets lost a little bit in the background.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
It's not a bad thing. It's just that it's a technique usually made for these kind of like overly saturated stories to dull the background a little bit to make the character pop out a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can tell that like the idea of the story is to be like a children's story. So overly saturated characters, you know, they're very silly. And usually when you like unsaturate the background a little bit, it makes the action of what's going on in the foreground be more apparent.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell like in all of them, like if you can tell like in all of them that like if you like dulled the background a little bit more, it would look like a little bit more popping to the eye. And you know, I don't know if you guys noticed, but maybe there were some perspective breaks in the panel, but I think the artist is still learning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can forgive that a little bit, but
Yeah, I can.
it
I
is a
agree.
thing that they would have to learn.
Mhm.
But story-wise, I really dig the slapstick humor and the overly silliness of it.
Actually, looking at this,
Mhm.
this might be the older one that you have open right now,
No, this is the newer one because
right?
there's only 4.
But it says 2024,
Oh,
July
right.
31st, 2024.
This is the maybe we read
Huh.
the wrong one. So the new one
The
has
other
more
one
chapters.
different?
Huh. Wait, let me just check here real quick.
Hold on.
Oh yeah, it's the same thing.
Uh,
It's not different.
yeah,
They
it
did.
looks
Okay,
like
that's
it's
the same thing.
Mhm.
It is the same thing though, but it. Yeah, it is the same thing. Yeah. So this artist is still on their art journey. They're still learning backgrounds,
Yeah.
which is the
Mhm.
hardest thing to do. And I love the premise
Mhm.
of the reptilians coming over and being,
Yeah.
being the things that they are. I really dig that. And I think this is gonna this story is, for me, it's drumming up to be like, like a episodic story with like a background thing that connects everything going along, but most of like the main story beats are going to be episodic. So you could like
Mm-hmm.
catch from anything. What about you guys? What do you guys
Yeah.
think of the
Mhm.
story?
It kind of seems like it's, well, the base framing device of, well, there's lizards invading. It's kind of just done as a way to set up these silly situations. It's just there to kind of build the next joke. And so it's very much
Mhm.
focused on the humor first, whereas obviously the story doesn't take itself that seriously at all. And so,
Yeah. Which definitely works because it's a comedy. So
yeah, and it does a pretty good job of that. It's one of those things where the flip side of it is like I can't really picture where this would go like in the really long term, but it does feel
Mhm.
episodic. Whereas like maybe this lizard thing is just a single episode, and then the next thing would be some other problem. Maybe they're being invaded by fish next time or something like that. It
Yeah.
it, it does, yeah. It feels episodic for sure.
All right. Let me just read the comments here real quick before we give our final verdict. Out of curiosity, how you guys decide what comics you will read? All right. The comics that we read are decided completely based on vibes. I make this little list that is scrolling down. I send it to everyone that's going to attend and I say, pick a story you like based on the name and the thumbnail. Because, I personally think that if you're going to make a if you're going to make a story, you have to make it a attractive thumbnail for it. So if you want to maybe attract more people, attract like the next reader, go by vibes. Make that art thumbnail art more appealing. Give it a really interesting
Mhm.
name because that's what readers typically do when they're looking for a story. They'll go like, "Ooh, what's the story about?" by the name, or "Ooh, what's the story about?" by the art that's going on. So that's how I that's how the people here pick it. And then we have the random one. This
Yep.
time this was the random one, and I really liked it. Then the art
That was
style
fun.
is a choice. It definitely gives off the old school Messy Saturday cartoon. Personally, not the kind of stuff that reels me in, but I'm sure others would enjoy it. Yeah, I would agree. It's not a thing for
Yeah.
everyone. I really jive with it, but that's because I'm tech. I'm a 5-year-old dressed in a 30-year-old's body.
Fair.
But I can see how some people don't wouldn't wouldn't dig it. Now let us look over in the YouTube section. Oh, there. Oh, mine is Wandering Porches. Oh, yes, I see my in there. Yeah, if you submit it, it is gonna be in there. Still watching the first hour. I just woke up for a nap. Ooh, the deep voice is gonna be funny. And hello. All right. So art style
All right.
wise, we gave our verdict. Story style wise,
Mhm.
where can I submit my comic to you guys to read? I will, if you follow me on YouTube or in the social medias, I make a post typically on Wednesday, like rounding up comics to add to the list. If you submit your comic to that comment, it will be added to the list. Also, I think I also submit on the other social medias like Instagram and Twitter. If you follow me on those, you can see the comment there as well. So look out for those. Does the list say the same for each new stream? I mean, it doesn't stay the same. Like I take out the comics that we read and add new comics for the people that submit the new comics. So it stays mostly the same, I would say, but it does change a little bit from time as the streams progresses. All right, so we gave our verdict on the art. We gave our verdict on the art style. So final verdict: would you continue read it? Recommend it? I'll start with you guys.
I mean, I don't think I'll continue it, but I can definitely see the appeal.
Yeah, it doesn't really
Yeah.
Mhm.
it doesn't really jive with you guys, does it?
I think it's pretty fun. It's just as with all comedy series, it's just going to be that
Mhm.
question of is it your sense of humor or not? And so if you're into
Yeah.
this kind of
Mhm.
like very silly and lighthearted atmosphere, then like it would probably be worth the read. I could see myself finishing the episodes that are currently available just kind of as something to read. It's not the type of thing that I would normally go out of my way to look for, though.
All right, personally,
Mhm.
I am biased towards this because I love comedy comics. So I'll definitely read this one, continue reading it.
Mhm.
And I would probably recommend it
That's fair.
if somebody likes like reading silly slapstick comedy. I would recommend it. That's
Yeah, and
my
I
the
think this
only.
one does a good job of having multiple jokes just kind of layered in. So there's just like things in the background, like the little, the signage and like the miscellaneous
Mhm.
text on just like buildings and stuff like that. And so it's like it's got like layers to the jokes. It's not just what's going on in the actual literal story and the dialogue, but there's also that what would be the word for it? That environmental humor.
Oh yeah, environmental humor really
Yeah.
got me. I think that's what really locked me in on it because I really love those little jokes in the background. All right then, so it gonna wrap it here for today. Thanks everyone for attending. Did everyone have a good time? Enjoy themselves?
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and thanks everyone for being
Yeah,
here.
it was a good time.
Yeah, same.
We will be back here same time next week. Hope you will join us for us again to read more funny comics. So, bye chat, bye everyone. See you next time.
Bye.
See you in your nightmares.
All right, everyone. Good job. Thanks everyone for being here.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks for having me.
All
I
right,
guess,
before you guys leave, I have to ask: do you guys want
Uh-huh.
to show up to another stream again, like later down the line?
Yeah, sure. If you'd ever like to have me again, I'd love to join again.
Sure, I'd love to, guys. You guys were fun. I would have liked to have. I'll look at the scheduling and send you guys a date later to see if you guys want to join.
yeah, I'd be
Yep.
willing to do another one if I am available.
Yeah, it won't be like next week
Mhm.
because I have like a bunch of people, but maybe in 2 or 3
No, I'm
weeks.
sure you got people lined up. Yeah.
There's a lot of people lined up. Oh yeah, and I was also gonna say I am planning to do stuff on the server like little events
Mhm.
like for people to join up. So look out for that because I just learned that you can message everyone at once.
Oh yeah,
Probably like thinking of doing like a
Yeah.
movie night or something.
Oh, that'd be fun.
'Cause there are quite a lot of people here. This used to be like a personal server that I use to like try
Mhm.
to figure out how to do server stuff and do stuff with friends, but now that it's getting a little bit bigger, maybe I should start doing some other stuff in here.
Got a little out of hand.
I mean, not really out of hand. It's just now there's more than 10 people
I just got
here.
there's a lot more going on in here.
yeah.
There's more than 10 people in the server. Maybe I should like start doing it, like meeting everyone. So I'm starting thinking like a
Mhm.
movie night. There were a few friends of mine that was talking about the anime Gurren Lagann and introducing them
My
to them.
gosh, Gurren Lagann.
And I was thinking of like showing them the
That
movie.
there's a movie?
Oh, you didn't? The movie is basically the entire series condensed in the movie form.
Oh, I watched the whole show. It's the only mecha anime I've ever actually liked.
You know, same. And it's for me, it's perfectly the peak of anime because it's just so good. It just wraps up
It's
the
so
entire
good.
story in 2 seasons.
Thank you, Studio Gainax.
And I gotta respect the concept of solving everything with a bigger drill.
Mm-hmm.
Because every problem you have in the world ever can be solved
You
with
gotta
just a
pierce the
bigger
heavens.
drill. It's like if you have
The
problems, it's
series,
because your drill isn't big enough. Gotta get a bigger one.
true.
It's like, oh,
The one
having troubles at work, bigger drill. Girlfriend,
bigger drill,
relationship issues,
bigger,
bigger drill.
bigger
The
drill,
world is ending. Get yourself a bigger drill, my friend.
bigger drill.
Every problem can be solved with just having a bigger drill. So anyway, that's the thing.
The show did Yoko dirty though.
Yeah. Anyway, those are things that are gonna happen later. Look
Yeah,
out
that'd be fun.
for. I'll send you guys a message for potential. Like I'll give you like 2 dates. If you can't do one, do the other one.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's getting pretty late over here for me. So have a good night, everyone. Thanks for showing up.
Yeah,
Thanks again,
it's like
and
12:30 here, so
Oh, it's 1 a.m. for me here. So anyway, good night, everyone.
is my time off then?
What?
All right. I'm like, is my time off then? Because it
No,
says it's 12:30 a.m. I thought it was. I don't know how time intervals work. I thought they were all like an hour apart. Maybe I'm wrong.
no, because I'm from Brazil, so it's very early in the
Yeah.
morning here. So it's already
Yeah. Same.
no, it's 1:25 is when I said. I forget.
Okay. It's 12:25 where I'm at.
Yeah,
So you're an hour ahead of me.
yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty late for you.
it is very late, but it's the weekend,
The
so
stream went very long this time.
yeah. But it was fun. It was fun seeing. I really
It was a
love
lot of fun.
Sheepady's voice. You should really go into radio because you just have that riz. You
I
got
get
that riz, man.
You got that really deep voice.
Yeah.
What was the name of that one YouTuber
It was one of them.
that also had? There was this one YouTuber I used to watch. He also had a deep voice, and he would like read scary stories.
Oh, don't say corpse.
I'll take it back.
I get that a lot.
You know, your voice could be really good for those dramatic FCP story readings or scary stories.
Oh,
I just think
goodness.
your voice is cool, man.
Yeah, you have a really cool voice,
Well,
man.
I appreciate that.
Really consider going to scary story reading. You make a killing.
Yeah, maybe someday.
All right, guys. It's getting the
Yeah.
All right.
the
yeah.
night
I'll let
the
everybody.
night hallucinations are getting to me.
Everybody
So
sleep.
good night,
That's
everyone.
fair. I have a little puppy on my lap that needs to go to bed. So.
And thanks
Okay.
again, and good night.
Until next time.
All right. Good night. Thanks for having me.